What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the BLOTTER podcast. Got us a good episode for you tonight. Tonight we're covering one of the greatest bands of all time, and if you ask me, the greatest band, rock band of all time to ever grace the stage. The legendary Led fucking Zeppelin.
I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say.
What you got?
No, I was just gonna Eagles or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
When you were gonna say it, I wanted to cut
we
you
ain't
off.
going there.
Yeah.
As a
How
matter
dare
of
you.
fact,
They're here, but Prince is like
Greta
here.
Van Fleet. There you go.
now we're talking about France. Oh, that's a great start. Well,
Yeah.
So,
Hello,
First things
everybody.
give us a like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. Anything you can do to support us. We really appreciate it. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. We love feedback. Any suggestions, any albums, or any bands you'd like us to cover, please let us know.
yeah.
We do
Love to.
have a special guest. He's running late, but hopefully he shows up here in a little while. So we'll hold out for him. Hopefully he shows up. But without further ado, Timmy's going to start us off. Timmy, what is
Awesome.
your number 3 album?
My number 3 album, man. I really, I had concreted 1 and 2. Like I already knew where they were going to go, but
Okay.
3 was a toss up. It really was. Like I could put them hand in hand, but I'm gonna say my number 3 album is In Through the Outdoor.
Really?
Yes.
No shit.
Look at that.
And I actually text Dad, like the ghost member of Blotter earlier, and was like, "What is your favorite Led Zeppelin album?" And he
Is
said,
it In Through the Outdoor?
without a doubt, he was just like In Through the Outdoor, no question.
Really?
Yeah, and he said his favorite song was All of My Love. Yeah.
Of all of Led Zeppelin songs, your
all
dad's
of
favorite
Led-
song.
That's what he said.
That's it.
Hey,
Yeah. The message literally said, In Through the Outdoor is my favorite album by them, and All of My Love is one of their greatest songs. They can
that
suck
is
it.
true.
And then
Man.
it was ... suck it hard.
I'm not gonna
And I was
argue
like,
with
Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with the man. Hey,
Well, for anyone that
I'm
doesn't
not
know,
gonna,
Timmy's
I'm not gonna
dad is
argue
a
with the man,
drummer.
the myth, the legend.
Yeah, he's a drummer.
Oh, yeah.
I would have expected Moby Dick, or
Honestly,
Yeah.
a more like drum driven song.
I really thought that he
Yeah.
was going to go with something like Since I've Been Loving You or
Yeah, or
Communication
something like that.
Breakdown,
Yeah.
something like that. You know what I mean?
Communication.
He hit
Yeah.
me with
Since
All
I've
of
been
My
loving you.
Love.
Yeah.
And, All of My Love is also one of my honorable mentions. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there since I brought the song up. But yeah, I was like, that
You piece
shocked
of
me.
shit.
But yeah. So my number 3 is In Through the Outdoor.
That is a very interesting pick. I did not expect that from you, Timmy.
Man,
I'm not gonna lie, you're full of surprises tonight,
He's always that guy.
man.
Bring
I can't
this
help
on
it.
to me.
The
The one,
what's your
the
number
only, the destroyer.
Something tells
My
me his
number
3
3
is not In Through the Outdoor.
No, didn't even make it there. No, I'm just kidding. House of the Holy is my number 3.
Nice.
House of the Holy.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was say I'd name off some songs, but you guys are. You know what's funny is one song that's not on there is House of the Holy.
House of the
Oh, yeah.
Holy. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Dude, I actually
mean-
looked up why that wasn't on there.
Was it because they didn't write it yet or something like that?
No, they had wrote it, but they didn't. They thought it sounded too much like the song "Dancing Days,"
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
didn't put it on there. Like they had the song for the album. They were gonna. That's why they named it that. They named the album
like
"House of the
Dancing
Holy."
Days.
Yeah, but they said it sounded too much like "Dancing Days," so they wound up putting it on physical graffiti.
Isn't that some shit?
Yeah.
Named the
Hey,
whole
that's some
fucking
shit,
album
yeah.
after a song and then decided to leave it off.
Hey, it
Like,
gives
I think we
suspense,
talked
man.
about this before, but like
Yeah.
we
We have.
wondered why, because there's multiple bands that do that kind of shit. You know,
Yeah.
leave a song
Yeah,
off the
I think
album and name it that.
that's what it was, Jimbo. We were talking about doing that. That's what it was.
Is that
And
what
then
it
we
was?
let on. We were talking when we were coming up with like New Horizon and stuff. Me and you had a conversation about it, about like our next album or
Yeah,
whatnot.
that's right.
And we were
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
that. And then we started talking about like Zeppelin and a couple other bands that did the same thing. We were like, hell yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Ghost
always
wound
something.
up.
Keeps a little suspense. You know.
Yeah, Ghost wound up doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. See.
That's why Square Hammer was a single. It was actually supposed to be on Meloria, and they had finished the album, and it was like, well, either we stop like they were already ready to press it and everything, and it was like, well, do we stop that or do we just? So they left it off, and then they released it as a single
For the next one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck, that's a hell of a goddamn single. I'll say that. But anyway,
That'll be
Good album too.
Jimbo.
Yeah.
Jimbo, what's
Anyway.
your number 3 album, my boy? Yeah.
My number
Enough
3.
with Timmy.
My number 3 might be a surprise. My number 3 is actually Presence. And it's if you ask me, it's a very underrated Zeppelin album. It doesn't get all the hype that like say 2 and 4 get. That's usually the argument, which one's better is 2 or 4.
Oh yeah.
But I would say Presence would be my third favorite, and I'll tell you why. Because
it's got a great presence.
that's true. That's actually what it's named after. It was named after the
We're not even 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
already trying with the Let me
I'm
press
sorry.
on before Timmy pulls out the puns and shit. There's a communication breakdown.
Yeah. You know. Anyway, that's why it was
Anyway.
Presence.
No, they named it Presence.
Anywho.
They named it Presence because at the time it was released, Zeppelin was like at their peak of popularity.
Yeah.
And it was like without even being in the room, they were there.
Yeah,
Like
I like that.
Their
See, I like
presence was felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
That's
theme
why they
behind
named
that.
it Presence. And if you look at the album cover, there's like a black obelisk object. They call it the object. It's literally like described as the object in the album art.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of pictures of random shit, and everyone's like looking at it. And that was supposed to be like Led Zeppelin in the room.
Yeah, they're the
It's like
focal point.
Yeah, they're the focal point. Yeah, exactly.
They're the focal point of the.
But it's actually the only Led Zeppelin record without keyboards.
I got you.
And
that's why
there's
I don't
only
like it.
one song that has acoustic guitar. Other than that, it's very stripped down, bare minimum. I really like albums like that, when it's just like bare bones, you know, bass, drums, guitar, singers.
And rock and roll, baby.
A reason I think it was not so popular, or the reason it wasn't as popular as the rest of their music, was because after they put out Physical Graffiti, it was the album after Physical Graffiti.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in the middle of the Physical Graffiti tour. Robert Plant was actually in a car accident, and it like fucked them all up, like real bad. They had to cancel the whole rest of the tour. He was recovering. Yeah, and when they actually started recording, they were starting to record this album instead of touring. Like, he was so fucked up, like he did all of his vocals sitting in a wheelchair for the whole album, which I found pretty wild.
Show must go on.
The show must go on. So they wound up not even touring for that album. At a time when that's what you did. You put out an album, you tore the album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they only ever played 2 songs off the album live, which was Achilles' Last Stand and Nobody's Fault But Mine.
Yeah.
Which I think sucks, because I think there's some good stuff on there.
Nobody's Fault But
really
Mine.
do.
It's not a bad song.
Yeah, I like that song, man. It's a solid album. Like I said, it's very it's very simplistic. It's not like super progressive like some of the other albums they did. You know, it's very, very cool if you ask me. And
Oh yeah.
originally, Robert Plant wanted to call it Thanksgiving because they finished it the week of Thanksgiving in America. Everyone else was like, fuck no, absolutely not. They were just like, nah, shitty name. No, not doing it.
The Mick from the Dirt. Shitty name.
Yes.
Yeah. Start a meme up. Shitty name. It's just gonna be Mick from the Dirt. Shitty name.
Yep. No, but they actually recorded the whole thing in 18 days.
Awesome.
Yep. And they actually, the Rolling Stones were going to, they were booked at the same recording studio right after Zeppelin to record their album Black and Blue.
Okay.
And they didn't finish in time, so Jimmy Page hashed out a deal with Mick Jagger and them to take 2 of their days. They had to record, and he overdubbed all his guitars and finished the mixing and shit. And those 2 albums actually came out like the exact same time. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
A little fun fact.
That's what's up.
But yeah, that would be my number 3, man.
Awesome.
All right, Timmy. Let's
Presents.
hear that number. Number 2.
Right. My number 2 is Led Zeppelin 4.
Hey.
Nice.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
Anybody that's listened to Led Zeppelin knows that Led Zeppelin 4 is out of what, eight great albums. I mean, that's a pretty pinnacle fucking album.
It's one of the best-selling albums of all time.
Like, take Stairway to Heaven out of that.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like, even not saying like it's not a good song. I'm saying like take Stairway to Heaven.
Just
popularity.
just without that. Yeah.
You know
just without that, and still amazing.
Even if that song weren't on there, that whole album is fucking. I mean, that's that no filler.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
And then on top of that, like they didn't even put their name or anything on the album cover.
Yeah, it was actually it wasn't actually Led Zeppelin 4. It was actually they didn't even have a name for it. It was just untitled.
No. Yeah.
But the record company made them put something on it, and they wound up putting the symbols.
Yeah.
On the back or whatever, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. The symbols are supposed
the front was just
to represent each member.
Yeah.
It's actually a photo. They actually found out who that guy was like the last couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like some Thatcher or something. He did roofs.
Yeah.
He's like carrying a bundle of sticks. Yeah, I swear to God, that's what it is. They found out who he was. It was some random photo they found. They were like, yeah, let's make that the album cover.
Yeah. And their symbols have like meaning and stuff. I hate if Justin was here, he actually knows all their stuff. I want to say I think he has Jimmy Page's, if I'm not mistaken. I think Justin has that tattooed on him or something. But
Justin has one.
Yeah,
Dan has one. Johnny has one.
I didn't expect them to have. Oh, they probably got their symbols or whatnot.
I think so.
Each member.
I can tell you what they are. The reason they call the fourth. A lot of people call the fourth album Zoso because Jimmy Page symbol is that it spells Zoso for. I think it was just something he came up with. I think.
Yeah, I was about to say he actually came up with his.
Yeah, and then John Paul Jones is it's a Wiccan symbol.
Mm.
It's like a trinity, and then John Paul Jones is the trinity with 3 circles.
Yeah.
And Robert Plant is the feather. The feather is actually, I believe it's pronounced the feather of Mott. It's a nod to Egyptian mythology.
Mm.
It's like when you died, your heart was weighed against the feather of Mott, and if it was heavier than the feather, then you like get eaten by a monster or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some wild shit they put into that.
Yeah, the thoughts they had.
What that has to do with Led Zeppelin, I'm not sure, but
it's just personal. It's personal. Yeah, personal symbols. That's all it was personalizing your symbol.
a representation of who they were.
But I want to say
that.
everybody's symbol was already a symbol and had meaning. And Jimmy Page is the only one. He actually just made up his.
He created his. Yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow that became the name of the album unofficially. So I guess that's kind of cool.
I think Led Zeppelin 4 is, that's one of their pinnacle albums, man.
Oh yeah,
sure.
And it just the way it starts off, bro, just fucking bam, right there.
Like Black Dog, right?
Black Dog. Yep, Black Dog is what starts it off.
Like,
I was reading a thing.
Not a lot of fucking albums.
Yeah.
Started off. I mean, there's a lot of albums that started off with voices, but not a lot of albums start off with just a fucking voice singing, just drop the needle.
And not only
down.
that, I've said it before.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Robert Plant's one of my favorite singers ever.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons he's so controlled, like his voice is so controlled when he sings, no matter what note he's hitting.
Yeah.
It's the control of his voice is amazing.
That's what makes him great. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's funny because that's my number 2 as well. So.
Nice.
Zeppelin 4. It's yeah. When we talk about, but I was gonna say, I mean, we'll go ahead and I won't spend too much time talking about it because we just talked about it. But Black Dog, you know why they named Black Dog Black Dog?
Because they didn't have a white dog.
No, because a black dog got into the studio while they were recording that song. During the recording of that, there was a black dog, a random black dog showed up and got into the studio where they were recording while they were recording it. So they just named that song Black Dog. They were like, yeah. Nice. That's why I was laughing when you were talking about he wanted to name it Thanksgiving. I was like, dude, he's always got some off the wall shit. That's why they named.
That makes me wonder.
That's why they named the song Black Dog.
It makes me wonder how the hell they come up with the name Hot Dog. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, that song, dude. Of all the Led Zeppelin songs, that's the one I just don't understand.
It's a good song. I like Hot Dog.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be my least favorite Zeppelin song.
That's why they call it Black Dog.
My least favorite Zeppelin song would be fucking.
There, wait, no.
No. Dire Maker.
Dire Maker.
The fucking.
I think it's pronounced. It's pronounced "Do You Maker."
It's pronounced fucking Skip. Is what it's pronounced.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was just listening to that.
There was a guy.
I was writing my top 5, and Shane was like, "That's such an annoying song."
Well, it was supposed to be a joke on reggae because reggae was coming out at the time.
Dude, I was about to say there was a guy at the shop.
I did not know that.
To Zeppelin
well, it's in the name. It's pronounced "Do Jamaica." It's supposed to be like a joke, like Jamaica.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Welcome to Jamaica.
Yeah. There was a guy that showed up
at
the shop
the
other day.
I love it.
Some exhaust done, and he was listening to some reggae, and like in the car, like I could hear it. And he come into the shop to talk about this exhaust. I can't remember what the fuck he was driving, some piece of shit car. Anyway,
no one cares.
And he heard Led Zeppelin play, and he was like, "Man, I love Led Zeppelin. I get down to that Dire Maker song, and I just didn't even skip the beat. I was just like, of course you do. Fucking kept on walking, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's an awesome song.
This is not the shop you're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, they also.
It is a great song, but that's a song that I don't really.
And I'm not shitting on reggae. I'm just shitting on reggae.
Timmy.
It's different. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Somehow. Yeah. Oh, you talking about that?
So I was like, you fucked me up there.
Yeah.
All right, Jimbo. So what's your number 2?
That is one of the best-selling albums of all time. It's like 37 million copies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 3 times diamond, almost 4.
I always loved that they didn't put their. It was like you said, self-titled. They didn't put nothing.
Yeah. No, it's not even self-titled. It's just untitled. They didn't put a name on it at all.
I'll be happy.
I saw a document. They were talking about. Yeah, they were talking about like very, very ballsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
It's like put it out there. Don't even care.
Jimbo?
Well, that's why they made them put the symbols on it. Is because they were like, no, you got to have something.
Yeah.
So they made them do that.
What's your number 2, buddy?
My number 2 is Led Zeppelin 3.
Oh, I got you.
And it's number 3 for a couple of reasons. Number 1, that was actually the first Led Zeppelin record I ever bought. It was one of the first records I ever bought, period.
That's a good record.
Dude, I love that record. Yeah. It was really interesting because I read that with that album in particular, they wanted to prove that they were always critically panned. You know, coming back to my hatred for music critics, because I think it's the most useless fucking job ever. Like, the first 2 Zeppelin albums, were critically panned. Like, in Rolling Stone, they were like, they're terrible. Why would anyone listen to this? And, I mean, Led Zeppelin, the first album, was number 6 on the Billboard charts, and then Led Zeppelin 2 was number 1. And they hated it, but everyone else fucking loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So
they're
who the
like
fuck cares the critics think?
one-track mind thing there.
Whatever
like that, it'll be like that.
The learning, what you take away from this, people, is that whatever Rolling Stones hates must be good.
Oh, and the head of Rolling Stone is also the head of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So,
of course. You know.
I can't remember his name.
It makes sense now.
Fuck that guy.
What the band wanted to do with that album was to prove that they could do any musical style they wanted to, and it shows in the record because they show a lot of their influences, like a lot of blues and a lot of folk music. Like, they use a lot of different instruments, like mandolins and banjos and like different stuff like that.
That's what we need.
The didgeridoo.
Yeah, and I didn't know this till today, but John Paul Jones is actually the main person that played all those instruments. Jimmy Page did too, but that was the album where John Paul Jones really started to show how good of a multi-instrumentalist he was.
Musician.
Everybody.
I thought that was really cool.
Everybody likes Robert Plant because he was the front guy, and Jimmy Page was the guitar player. And in the 70s, guitar players were like the thing, and you had John Bonham beating on the drums back there. But I mean, hey, if nobody else will say it, I'll say it. There wouldn't be a Led Zeppelin without John Paul Jones.
Not at all.
That guy is amazing. He's probably, to me, he's the most talented motherfucker in the band.
I would agree. Actually, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's not even just because he's the bass player. Like, full on, that dude is.
No, it's
everything
player.
Yeah,
it's not a secret. Yeah. I would say, to me, if you know music and you actually dig into these bands and stuff like that, like we talk about, if you dig into Led Zeppelin, like we're talking now, you'll find out
I'm not taking away from any of the other guys. They're all fucking superstars, man. They're all fucking
you find the sauce. Who's really got the sauce, which all together, the chemistry they got is what's made them so great,
But if you ever watch any of their live footage, bro, it's like Robert Plant in his bulge at the head of the stage, fucking
his belly shirt, his
open chest and shit,
catching doves and shit,
doing whatever the fuck he's doing with his guitar, making weird moves and shit, and fucking
leaning back really hard,
moving up and down. And then they pan over there to John Paul Jones, and he's fucking just slaving away. Thumping the bass, playing the foot keyboard,
playing the keyboard and shit.
Man.
Yeah. He's got a whole circle around him.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Of instruments.
And it's like, oh man, I feel for you, guy.
No, but another reason why they went with such a acoustic, went down the acoustic road with a lot of those tracks. Was because so they went relentlessly touring for the first 2 albums. Like, they recorded the second album while touring. Yeah. And they wanted to, they were really stressed out, and they wanted to get away. And they actually went to, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's actually in one of the songs, Bron Year R.
Yeah.
It's a cottage in Wales. It's just out in the country.
Stone castle looking thing.
No, that was That was the next one. I can't remember the name of that, but no, this was just a cottage. Like there was no electricity and no running water. Like it was just
ideal.
super simplistic and like so that's
Basic.
why they focused a lot on like acoustic shit.
Yeah.
And it was like it contrasted with like the fast life of what they were doing for the last like 2 years.
Yeah.
And it shows in the music, and I really appreciate that album, and it reflects in the music.
Hell yeah,
it's a great album, man.
Yeah,
I gotta say this is hard.
I've told y'all how much I love,
you know what I mean,
like Norse mythology.
Yeah,
no,
and dude, what is the Immigrant Song but a fucking Viking ballad?
Really
about going to pillage, like it's literally about Viking invasion of England, you know, and it was inspired. They were inspired to write it because they were touring in Iceland, which is definitely Viking haven.
Yeah.
And I mean, who doesn't like the Immigrant Song? Like that's fucking quintessential.
Love it.
Led Zeppelin, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I did not put that on my top 5.
I did not either.
I did not either.
It is.
I figured y'all were gonna be like, "What, Trey?" Because I love that song. I do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't put it on there.
It's an honorable mention for sure.
Definitely honorable mention.
But Timmy, what's your number 1 album, my guy?
Led Zeppelin 2, motherfucker. Come on now.
Well, that's awesome because that's also my number.
I mean, goddamn. I mean,
we were just laughing and joking about this, about it's who we argue between 4 and 2.
Yeah.
And me and Timmy got the same opinion there, buddy. It's 2 and 4, baby.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead. We'll go ahead and cut that one out too.
Yeah, so, Led Zeppelin 2 is fuck right? Yeah. Way to be.
I mean, dude, it kicks off. I'm just gonna skip Timmy. Like it kicks off with a fucking Whole Lot of Love. Come on, man.
Oh man.
Right off the bat.
Definite classic. Like what is, what should never be.
Yeah, and it the Lemon Song now is a fucking ripoff of The Killing Floor by fucking Howlin' Wolf. That's what that is.
I mean,
they got a lot of their songs from blues players.
Yeah,
they
that's
love
what it
the
is.
blues.
Yeah. I'm curious. I meant to ask y'all before we did all this, before we started recording and all that.
I'm mad for Howlin' Wolf. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I was always wondering. I wonder if they ever got sued for that or anything, because it's a Howlin' Wolf song. Because when it first started, I was like, all right, dun 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 ticka ticka dun 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 dun, and I was like, man, that sounds just like Killing Floor. And then he started singing, and I was like, oh, this is Killing Floor by Howlin' Wolf. Mm-hmm. That's why when I wrote it down, I literally wrote that the Lemon Song, aka Killing Floor, because that's like my favorite Howlin' Wolf song. So I was like, these motherfuckers.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Timmy's probably gonna say because Heartbreaker and Live and Love and Made, you know. I mean,
that whole album.
Yeah, Moby Dick,
back, bro. Yes.
Bring It Home. You know, I figured that. Yeah, and then Ramble On. I mean. Yes, I'm sorry, Timmy. I basically skipped Timmy.
No, you're good. You're
number
good.
2. I mean,
you're saying everything.
Number 1 album. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay. Let me go ahead and butt in.
Yeah, you're saying everything I was gonna say.
Same thing. And I mean, it's just like right after one after another.
Oh, absolutely.
Pop, pop, you know, and I mean, I feel like that about 4 as well. But I mean,
I'll tell you what,
2 is it for me.
A Whole Lot of Love. When you talk about the reverb chamber that they used when they recorded that song, they used like Van Halen used the same thing on the first record. Like if you listen to like Running with the Devil and shit, if you actually listen to it in a true stereo and you unplug one side, all you'll hear, I believe, in the right side is the echo chamber for the reverb. And if you do that with Whole Lot of Love, when I say they washed that guitar out on the side with fucking reverb to get that sound, I mean they fucking boy, that motherfucker was at 100, and they just panned it. It was like guitar is like, if you actually unplug, you'll hear it. The guitar actually comes out of your left side.
Yeah,
and then all the reverb is on the right side, and it's just nothing but like just a giant. I believe they back then they were probably using spring, or they might have been using plate.
It's probably spring. I was about to say it's spring.
But
I think.
I believe they used a what is it called? A theremin? What it's called?
Thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Called a theremin, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Which is a very interesting instrument. I didn't realize like how much it's been used. I thought it was just like a fun thing to fuck around with.
It's like the same thing as the talk box. If you actually listen, it's used a shitload, but a lot of people think it's like a wah pedal most of the time because of how people use it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, they use it like a wah pedal or like a fuzz. You can mistake it for a wah or fuzz.
Talk box, what's the first thing you think of? Peter Frampton.
Peter Frampton.
You know but Peter Frampton.
There's another
reason
Peter.
He discovered it was because Stevie Wonder would use it on his fucking keyboard.
Yeah, it was originally.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it was. I want to say, damn, dude, I can't. I think the first guy that actually used it was.
Used a lot.
Damn, and this is totally off of Zeppelin about the talk box. The first guy who I want to say he's the one that invented it. His name's Peter. I can't think of his last name now. Piece of shit. But he's got a song that's it's called like "Hold Me, Kiss Me" or something like that, softly. But he plays lap steel.
Yeah.
And he has a little tiny tube. They were talking about.
I know the song you're talking about. Yeah.
They talk about it, and they're like, his latest effect or something like that. He's going to talk through his lap steel, and he's doing slides and talking through the talk box, and it's like kiss me, and he has backup singers that sing it, kiss me, hold me. It's real pretty, man. It's badass too. But that's how they did it with the lap steel. Dude. It's dope. And then but it started getting more famous and stuff like that, I guess, through the 60s, 70s or something like that with, like you were talking about, keyboard. A lot of people use it for keyboard because you can get perfect, like, almost like perfect pitch when you're talking through it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Interesting. But most guitar players use it for like a wah-wah or like a fuzz or something because it takes skill, and Timmy knows this, it takes skill to be able to mimic like talking. Correctly. Yes, exactly.
Well, because
it takes a lot of skill on a guitar.
You don't actually talk.
Yeah.
You have to be able to use vowels and let the guitar, it's a driver, it's a speaker in that thing that's sending, you know what I mean? Like that. Signal. You know how many fucking cavity like fillings that have rattled free with that fucking tube in my mouth over the years, dude? Because if you bite on it, I mean, that's 100-watt fucking Marshall like Trey's got, or like my Hughes and Kettner, when all that loud noise is coming out that 412 is redirected through this driver into your fucking mouth.
Yeah, it's
and like you say the vowels and shit. And that's
you move your mouth. It's like for most people, if you're listening, you ever mess around when you was a kid? Take a phone or your speaker and you put your mouth over it. Wow, 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 wow! It's the same effect. It's the exact same effect. Yep, you can do it. I know I did it when I was a kid. Yeah, it's the exact same effect. That's the effect you're getting from it. It's basically like muffling or cupping a speaker, and you're manipulating the sound waves that are coming off of it. So anywho, before we fall down long hole of talk boxing and stuff, guitar geeks over here.
The theremin is the same shit. You don't really realize how much it's used and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually saw a video. This guy played the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow on a theremin. Surprisingly, it sounded really fucking cool.
Is he the guy that gets like? Was he the guy that gets like real into it? Like starts like waving his hand. He's like shaking his head and shit. And then have you seen that?
No.
I have to send y'all the video. I can't remember what he's playing. He's playing some song. It sounds fucking amazing, but he's like, he's really
getting all into it. Yeah, I want to see that.
One of them, you know what I mean? If you was lying in that ditch, you had one song. You know what I mean?
One song.
I got this. Sets up the theremin, fucking got his
He's
hand
up there
going.
Testifying.
Yeah, I swear to God, bro, warm his hand up like he's about to smack a motherfucker or something.
Jimbo, what's your number one?
Yeah.
On that, what's your number one album?
Bring into my number one album. My number one album, without a doubt, is Physical Graffiti. That album, it kicks so much ass.
Oh,
it is their only double album.
Yeah.
And it was actually it's the first album that John Bonham actually contributed a lot to the songwriting process. Because if you listen to it, there's a lot of parts where they had to try to figure out how the drums should go, and he was like, "Oh, this is how they would." It was a lot more like a full band participation kind of deal. They all wrote it together in a room kind of deal. And
it wasn't just everybody puts their name on the paper and only one person's doing the project, you know?
Yeah. Like he got like a main songwriting credit for a lot of those songs.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had originally I believe they had like 7 or 8 songs specifically for that album. And it was too much for a single album. They had enough for like 3 sides. So they were like, okay, well, we have some left over from 2, 3, and 4. So a lot of those songs went on to Physical Graffiti.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yep. And
we were talking about that the other day.
In what regard?
Like songs that we left off, like we were talking about.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
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 That shit happened.
Yeah, like what I said earlier, Houses of the Holy, how they didn't put it on the album, Houses of the Holy. It was on Physical Graffiti.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason was what I said earlier, because it sounded too much like Dancing.
Houses of the Holy. Can I say, what a weird fucking album cover, man.
One
of the more bizarre album covers.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
I was wondering, where are they going? Where are they going?
Fun fact about that cover: the girl that is on Houses of the Holy, that cover is on the back of Presents.
Oh, nice.
The album art's the same girl. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Blonde-haired girl. Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I found that out today. I didn't know that either.
Jimbo, Physical Graffiti was actually my honorable mention. That's the one that I was battling between In Through the Outdoor and Physical Graffiti.
Yeah, that's probably. I was about to say Physical Graffiti is probably my my honorable mention too.
If we had a number 4, that would have been my number 4. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It just had a lot of really good songs on it. I think. Like
I don't know.
Starts out with Custard Pie.
1 and 3 are pretty good too.
Song.
Yeah.
And it had like the Rover. The Rover's awesome.
I tell you, Led Zeppelin 1 is a killer album too. I don't want to not talk about that, but I will say this. That is one album, and off that album, one of my honorable mentions also was Communication Breakdown. And I tell Jimbo all the time, Trey, I've probably told you too, if they could have recorded that song with today's technology.
Yeah.
Because they were first starting out, like if they could have had like the money and stuff to like actually put that, man, if that song would have been produced like, 2, 3, 4 Physical Graffiti was produced. Oh my God, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like that first album was underproduced, which that seems to be a very common thing.
I mean, it was their 60s, first album.
70s. It's like they, you know what I mean? Like when you listen to fuck the first Kiss album, the fucking just pick a band, fucking, Foghat's first album, and it come, all late 60s, early 70s, like all those, it's like all their first albums were just way underproduced.
Judas Priest.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't even have to go that far. Like the first couple of Iron Maiden albums.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They just
that first one sounds nothing like Number of the Beast. That was their third album, and it's completely different. Even the musical style.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little connection with Iron Maiden and Led Zeppelin, besides being British. That was that Iron Maiden actually did a cover of Communication Breakdown, and it was one of the B-sides.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool if you ever check that out.
I did not know that, dude.
Yeah, shout out to well, not really shout out, but thank you, Wild Bill, for showing. He gave me his Best of the B-Sides Iron Maiden album, and that was one of them on there, and I thought it was awesome.
You got me wanting to damn listen to that.
But incredible like musical diversity on Physical Graffiti. Like there's a lot of folk in there, kind of like not as much as Led Zeppelin 3, but there was a lot of some good acoustic shit in there. There was a few songs like Boogie with Stu, Down by the Seaside. It was more just like laid back, relaxed kind of jams. It wasn't like, hard rock kind of thing like the normal, what you would normally associate with Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
But I did read because it was a double album, they were like, well, let's go ahead and put those songs on here because they're not going to fit on another album. Which makes sense because I couldn't see those songs on Led Zeppelin 4. I couldn't see it on, Led Zeppelin 2.
Yeah.
And what blows my mind is they did the first 4 albums in a span of like 3 years.
Yeah.
So like all like their most memorable stuff was
looking
all done in like 3 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. I think that's what Justin was talking to me about. He was like 3 or 4 years. Their catalog, most of their catalog was done in like 4 years.
Yeah, man. That's what a lot of bands did back then.
Like they just knocked it out of the park with those first few albums.
You know what I mean?
Was Dazed and Confused on the first? Was that on the first record?
Yes.
I
believe.
Yeah, that's another one. I like that one, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's an honorable mention of mine.
Yes.
So
y'all want to jump into songs?
I was about to say enough talking about it. Let's just go on and do it.
One more quick thing about Physical Graffiti, just because I thought this was cool. The first couple recording sessions, it was done with Ronnie Lane's mobile studio. Ronnie Lane was the bass player for the Faces.
I got you. Yeah.
If y'all are fans of the Face, I love the Faces. Like Rod Stewart, Ronnie Lane.
Yeah.
The first couple were done with him, and they had to stop recording with him because Bad Company was recording their debut album. They were actually on Led Zeppelin's label. Led Zeppelin made their own label prior to this album. This was the first album they did on their own label. It was called Swan Song, and they named it Swan. Swan Song is on that album.
Yeah.
But they made that's where you get the Icarus, the guy with the wings.
Yeah.
That was their logo. Bad Company. They signed Bad Company to their label.
That's what's up. I did not know that. That's cool as shit.
And they had to stop recording because they were using Bad Company was recording their debut album.
Hell yeah. I
thought that was. I didn't know that till today. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool as shit. I didn't either until right now.
Yeah, because I love Bad Company too. Like.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. That's
super group.
That's one of my mom's favorite bands.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, let's jump into some songs, man.
Jump into some songs, my boy.
So because Jimbo loves Led Zeppelin so much, we decided to do a top 6 songs tonight instead of top 5.
Absolutely.
Just because we love old Jimbo.
Are we breaking rules now?
Man.
Hey, man, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it for Zeppelin, man.
I'll remember that.
So, I will say this. My number 6 is Good Times, Bad Times.
Oh, man.
Nice. Number 1.
You know what I mean?
And the number 1 track.
That's my number 6 right there. Bam.
Yeah.
And that's a good song. And it's actually I've heard some great covers. I think Godsmack did a cover.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Godsmack had a good cover of that.
I literally just wrote that down.
I think Ace Frehley and John 5 did a cover of it too.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, did they?
I believe,
cool.
yeah. Yeah,
I
want to listen. I was about to say I gotta listen to that.
It's on one of the Origins album. I think it's on the same album because they did. I don't know if John 5 did
that was
White
the
Room
covers album
too. Yes,
right?
Yeah, it would make sense. I was about to say
but I'm pretty sure they did. It was pretty badass. Ace and John, they made it.
Oh yeah,
I mean they did it some justice. They made it. It was pretty heavy, but not like
that's funny. I just wrote Good Times, Bad Times. That's what, if y'all see me going like this earlier, that's what I was doing. I could not remember. I wanted to write a song down for honorable mention. That's what it was.
Live. That's probably one of the most badass Led Zeppelin songs I've ever heard live. I got to see Jason Bonham do the evening of Led Zeppelin, or the Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin's evening.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin's experience. The evening with the experience.
That's what they opened the fucking show with.
Hell yeah,
that's badass, dude.
That was an opener, bro. I was like, God.
Speaking of Jason Bonham, man, y'all know, and I'm sorry I had to do this, but got to bring Van Halen up with have y'all looked into any dates on Sammy Hagar and Joe Satriani?
Yeah, Jason Bonham's the drummer for his band.
Yeah, that's why I was like, dude, I gotta see that.
We shared Timmy's story of getting shot by Sammy Hagar.
Yeah,
that's right.
Jason Bonham was the drummer.
That was 9 years ago yesterday, bro.
9 years ago yesterday.
Awesome. That's what's up. Yeah, I was like, sorry, I was just thinking like that when you said that.
For anyone that wants a good laugh, go check out that story. That was there's a video on our YouTube that one cracks us up.
Oh, I found the box that I still have that wadded up streamer. Found the box that it's in. I'm gonna put it in the studio. I'm gonna get them pictures. I'm gonna get them printed out and put it in like a case, hang it on the wall. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
And maybe one day when Sammy,
I still got my kids
to do a cooking episode with us. I can get him to sign it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a little Pollock sauce.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to hear my number 5?
Your number 6?
Or number 6?
Number 6.
Yes. Number 6. I can't believe we're doing this.
We can smoke on this show, right?
I was going to say good. I would say good times, bad times, but man, I got so many honorable mentions. I mean,
I know. So
man,
you like the shirt? The shirt I was talking about earlier, guys.
I mean, you got hell yeah.
Oh man,
you got Black Dog. Communication Breakdown. The Ocean.
I love The Ocean. That was one of my honorable mentions too.
That's a good one.
Fool in the Rain.
Fool in the Rain's a good one.
Any of those could be my number 6. So
you got to pick one.
I'm going with Black Dog. I'm going with Black Dog. Son of a bitch.
Any of them could be my number 6.
Yeah, I like
any Led Zeppelin 4.
Because Timmy thinks he's special or something. Like, I haven't put a number 6 up here.
Hey.
Because it's Zeppelin.
I am special. All right.
Hey, we're doing all lucky numbers. We got 3 lists of 6, and this is episode 13.
There you go.
All right, then what's your number 6, my guy? I was about to say, I'm gonna go with Black Dog for mine because what's more funny than naming a song after a dog running in your studio while you're recording?
No, that's pretty. I didn't know that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I actually learned that I was reading comments and stuff, and somebody said they actually named the song. Somebody was talking about it. They actually named the song because of dog ran into the studio. It was a black dog that ran into the studio while they were recording, so they named the song after the black dog.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
It's random as hell. Like fuck it. They said that was what the first name was for, so they just kept it.
I wonder if the Rover was named after a dog, or if it was just about traveling.
Timmy, it turns out Black Dog is actually Sirius Black from Harry Potter.
There you go.
Or it's The reason why I said
Black
Timmy
was named after the Zeppelin song.
Yeah, right.
Trey,
So I was gonna say. When I said Timmy.
Earlier, when you was like that guy, you was talking about the guy with the talk box. You was like, his name's Peter something. I can't think of his last name. Motherfucker almost said Pettigrew.
Yeah. That's funny.
I swear to God.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I said Timmy because I was actually going to say it turns out the black dog is the same dog from Pirates of the Caribbean with the keys. That's everywhere in all the movies. He just shows up randomly throughout the movie. It's the same black dog. Yeah, he just went back. He showed up in the studio.
He's like the monkey. He's actually undead.
Yeah.
He stole a coin.
Yeah.
It's the Led Zeppelin dog.
Yeah. So Jimbo, what's your number 6?
Number 6, man. I'm gonna make a game time decision on this one.
Let's have it.
There's
Hail Mary.
So many picks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's all I'm like.
I'm gonna go with 10 Years Gone.
Nice. I like that song.
Song off Physical Graffiti. That's
really,
really cool song. I love the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's very it's one of those songs where John Bonham comes in later, which is a thing that they utilize a lot. Like it was always John Bonham, I think, was always way more powerful when he came in later in a song.
Oh yeah.
It just really brings it all together, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with like Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
You know, because he doesn't come in till halfway through the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And it just builds up the song and makes it so much better. I think it made it what it was. But I would say that. I love that shit, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the regular show. Timmy, what's your number 5?
My number 5.
Extra work.
My number 5, bro. So, just to throw it out there for the people that are listening, in case you came in later or you know something happened or you haven't understood what we're talking about. These 6 songs aren't what I think are the greatest Led Zeppelin songs. These are my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we could do a whole nother episode on what we think the greatest Led Zeppelin songs are.
I mean, honestly, it's just people's opinion.
It's basically
all it is.
2 and 4.
Yeah.
Would be their greatest songs, I would.
But when I started writing this list, I had to write it as like I already knew my albums. That was like that was just a given. So I wrote these songs as like, if I was going to listen to Led Zeppelin, these would be the 6 songs. So my number 5 would be the first track off of In Through the Outdoor, which is In the Evening.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that song, man.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that song just fucking, man, it's got that fucking like long minute intro, just a bunch of noise and shit happening. And all of a sudden he's like,
when the day is done.
And there's a lot of fucking whammy bar if you don't realize that. I mean, dude, that dude is fucking Jimmy Page is all over some fucking whammy on that.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I've always gotten that one and the Rover confused. Like, I always think it's the same song. They sound similar to me.
Yeah.
I love them both.
And to be a straightforward song, man, that song's pretty hard fucking hitting, man. It's got a lot of stops in it, and then they just come back in and it just chugs along. That's for like fucking 5 minutes of just pure goddamn awesomeness.
Fuck yeah.
I love that song. That's my number 5, man. In the Evening.
Hell yeah.
Personally, I think that's the best song on that album.
I would probably agree.
Yes.
I love that album. But like if you said you could only listen to one song from that album, that would be the song I picked.
One song.
Yeah, that would be the song I picked, In the Evening.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it was honestly, it started off at like number 3, but then I like went back and just listened to my Zeppelin catalog, and I was like, all right, I got to keep it on there, but it can't be number 3.
Bobbing and weaving. Bobbing and weaving.
Know what I mean? You got the first time I demoted a song ever. Fucking
Hey, it happens, buddy.
Number 5.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't go from number 2 to number like fucking 8.
8, like Justin.
Yeah, Justin.
Didn't pull a Justin. He was my number 2. but I dropped him to number 8. Like, talk about a demotion, my boy.
Damn, Squidward.
Yeah.
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
in the evenings, number 5. What you got, Trey?
It went from CEO to sweeping the damn floor. My number 5 is gonna be Ramble On.
Nice.
That's my number 5. It has the bass line is beautiful in that song, man.
Yes.
And I mean, I love the lyrics to it. So and I laugh because what is it in that little slow down part? I say breakdown or whatnot. He's talking about Gollum and the evil one.
Oh yeah.
So he's talking about Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and stuff. And I'm just oh man, I love his lyrics and the meaning.
There's quite a few allusions to Lord of the Rings in a lot of their songs.
Did
like
you know
Misty
that?
Mountain Hop. Misty Mountain Hop, literally.
Yeah.
About Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
In that song, in Ramble On, that
Misty
John
Mountain
Bonham is like beating on a fucking like a box. That's what that tapping is. That
oh, that's cool.
When the drums aren't playing, it was just literally like a mat over like a box.
Hell yeah.
Like
well, see, that's another thing. Like John Bonham's one of my favorite drummers ever.
Oh, hands down.
And I read an interview with him when he talked about like how he really didn't like cymbals. Like he was not a fan of cymbals at all. He's like, I'll use them, crash in and out of like phrases and shit. But like to me, I'm a drummer. I've always been a drummer. I like the drums.
Yeah.
Like I like the drums. I like how they sound. I like the percussion and stuff. And oh shit. I think we got.
Do we?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Player 4.
Oh, Morgan. There it is.
I'm going to keep the cam off because I'm outside and it's kind of dark, so.
No, just turn it on, brother.
You're a piece. He's embarrassed.
Just turn it on and we'll see you.
He's really in the closet doing some crazy shit.
No, I'm sitting in my Jeep, actually.
No.
Hey, that's what's up. I almost went and sat in my truck for this, too.
Here is our special guest for our Led Zeppelin episode, Mr. Morgan Powers.
The Zeppelin guru.
Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late.
Hi, guys. He looks like he's about to kill somebody with the say, hi, guys. Looks like a hitman with that beard. What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. How y'all doing?
Good.
Yeah, just talking some Zeppelin.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I meant to go over the discography, but I kind of forgot to. I've just been busy working, man.
What's your favorite
Led Zeppelin album?
Album?
Favorite
give us your top three. Top 3 albums. 3 to 1. 3, 2, 1.
I was Zeppelin 1, the first album. First off, that's just it's incredible. Start to finish, I love it, man. I don't know. It was brand new, just completely changed music, in my opinion.
Oh,
yeah.
You're the first one to say Zeppelin 1.
That's your number 1 or number 3?
I'm putting it in my number 1.
Oh, God.
I love all of Zeppelin.
Hey.
I love all of Zeppelin, so it's not. They're all pretty close together.
It's gonna be 1, 2,
even
and 4.
the later albums. Can we include live albums?
No, we're not including the live ones.
Damn. Well, that eliminates my second.
Jimbo shot him down.
Yeah, How the West Was Won.
Yeah, that one's great. I love that one too.
Probably Houses of the Holy.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the one vinyl I don't have.
Oh,
wow.
I think I got a hit on one, so I'm gonna follow through with that.
All right.
And then it's tough because, like I said, they're all so close together. Like even my 1 and 3 are right there beside each other. I'm gonna say In Through the Outdoor.
Oh shit!
Oh man, you and Timmy, man, what is wrong with y'all?
See?
Damn, that's 2 for In Through the Outdoor. Holy shit!
It's a good album, man.
Hey, that was Timmy's number 3 too.
Hell yeah!
That's what's
It's a
up.
great fucking album.
Yeah, House of the Holy was my number 3. Yeah.
Damn, so we covered, we all got every album.
Yeah. I was about to say, me and Timmy, our 2 and 1 was the same, so.
Yeah, Morgan, to brush you up on what we went through, my top 3 were Presence was number 3 for me. Then it was Led Zeppelin 3 and Physical Graffiti. Timmy's was In Through the Outdoor.
In Through the Outdoor, and then
2 and 4,
and then 2.
4 and 2.
Yeah, 4 and 2, and mine was House of the Holy, and then 4 and 2 for my number 2 and number 1 as well.
Yeah,
swear. If I had gone back and done my research, this would have came in handy. But Presence, is that the one with Hot Song for Nowhere? Or was that Coda?
No, that was Presence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my top 5 songs.
Yeah. We're doing songs right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's perfect time.
We're on our 5.
We're on our 5, so that works out great.
And actually, it would be Morgan, because what Timmy said. What was your number 5, Timmy?
In the evening.
You said in the evening. I just said Ramble On. We were literally talking about, I was like, the bass line's beautiful, and the lyrics are just, we were talking about how it's connected through Lord of the Rings, and then you popped up. So that works out perfect. So Morgan's over here like, I ain't got it written down, but number 5.
What would be your number 5 pick, Morgan?
Hell, the songs are going to be a tough one, too.
Yeah.
I think like
screwed.
3 through 5 are just going to be kind of just whatever. There's so many songs that could fit in any of those positions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Battle of Evermore, just because I want it in my list. But I've got the other top ones reserved.
Right. That's what's up.
No, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's actually one of my honorable mentions too.
Hell yeah.
Now, dude, Morgan, do you know who was the girl that sang on that song? Do you know?
I want to say it was John Paul Jones. I don't know about the girl, but I think John Paul Jones did vocals in that song too, because he did in the live version, but the live version didn't sound nowhere near as good as the album.
Well, shit.
I thought you would.
Robert Plant didn't
I don't know. Well, Robert Plant did, but there was another voice too. I know in the live version I saw, it was him and John Paul Jones singing together.
Huh. Interesting.
You okay, Timmy?
Yeah, buddy.
Just saw. No.
Trying not to set shit on fire over here.
That'd be a good idea.
Apparently, my
please don't.
The cherry didn't make it in that ashtray. It made it on the
I got a lot of stuff in that studio, my guy. Please don't.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
No, Battle of Evermore. Hell yeah. That's a good pick.
Hell yeah.
We actually did top
Jimbo?
6. My number 6 was 10 Years Gone. Timmy's was
that sucks.
Good Times, Bad Times.
Good Times, Bad Times. And Trey's was Black Dog.
Black Dog. I just said Black Dog because I was like, top 6. We always do a top 5, and these guys at the last second was like, actually, we're gonna do a top 6.
Do I have to go back and give a 6?
You don't have to, but you can if you want.
I'll go with Good Times.
Good Times.
Yeah,
Bad Times.
Yeah,
really,
Timmy pick, so there you go.
To me, it's mostly because there's 2 parts in that song where it completely stops and the guitar just comes in towards the end, and then the bass triplets. Those are just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in the car and it comes on, I turn it all the way up just so I can hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fun fact: he doesn't use a double bass drum for that. That's what is it? A lazy pedal? What's it called?
No, in fact, God, this is going to be part of my research too, because I remember reading that Bonham, he was talking with another drummer from some famous band, and I just can't remember who it was off the top of my head. And Bonham was impressed by his triplets on the bass drum, And he was like, man, how did you learn to do that? And the drummer was like, from you. And Bonham had no idea that he had done it. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, good times, bad times. And he went back and listened. He's like, holy shit. Yeah, I did do that.
When I play that
awesome.
song,
that's how you know you're great. That's how you know you're great.
I play drums. If I don't have the double bass pedal, because I'm fucking lazy and like I'll use the double bass pedal, but if I don't have it, there's a technique that I actually learned from Roger, and it actually helps speed up even when you use.
When you lose Timmy, what happened there?
Sorry,
we lost Timmy for a second.
When you swivel your foot, you like think of it like rotating your ankle
back
left
and forth?
or right like this. Yeah, you can actually pick up speed, and it'll actually what it does is it starts to use the weight of the beater to throw itself, so you no longer have to push down as hard to start it. It's pretty badass. Makes my fucking my knees hurt because I know I don't do it right. Makes my fucking knees hurt when I do it a lot.
Well, I read he used it wasn't like it was like I can't all I can think of is like a lazy pedal or something.
Sorry,
and it was like it had the double mallet.
Nah, you're good, buddy. See you better like that.
It was the single pedal, and it would they would swing off. Not in sequence. You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
It's like an actual.
I know what you're talking about.
There's probably like some drummer out here like freaking the fuck out, yelling like "you fucking retard."
But I've never used a double bass pedal in my life. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I've done it a little bit, but I've actually honestly watching I'm gonna go with is it All That Remains. I actually seen that in one of their music videos. They actually show. I want to say they show his feet, and I know that's why I knew what you were talking about, Timmy. It's the way if you actually watch a lot of like heavy metal drummers or people who just got insane. It's like the tendons are just like stupid fast, and you'll see their feet. That's what their feet are doing. It's almost like they're going back and forth as they're coming up and down. You know.
Yeah.
It's the heel. The heel is sliding like just a little back and forth. I don't know. I'm not a drummer, but I've seen it. That's why I'm like, I know what you're talking about.
I'm a drummer, and I can't even fucking explain it correctly, bro. I just know how to do it. All I know is it hurts my fucking knees because there's like a special way you're supposed to do it, and they tell you that if you don't, it can make your knees inflamed because you're moving your whole fucking leg back and forth. And I've like playing with Justin and them. I've got up next day and like fucking was hurting, like wanting to cry because I fucking, you get drunk, you don't care, play hard and fast, fuck my feet, fuck my knees, you know what I mean?
I'll crawl in the studio.
I swear to God, I get up next day, I'm like, I fucking hate myself. Fucking.
All for the sake of rock and roll.
Yeah,
That's right.
I can play drums just about as good as I can play trombone. I don't play trombone.
And you can't play trombone.
No. I played in middle school for about 2 months.
Skin flute. Yeah.
And then I went to percussion. I can play the snare drum.
Yeah, skin flute.
That's
right.
Just the snare drum.
So where are we at now? Jimbo?
Right, Jimbo.
Yeah, Jimbo's number 5.
Yeah, there we go.
My number 5 is T for One off of
T for One.
Presence.
Nice.
Now, the reason I like that song so much is I read Morgan, I was talking earlier about Presence and how it was like a very simplistic album for Zeppelin and how they kind of went bare bones on it. Like there's no keyboards, like barely any acoustic guitar. And I was reading that they wanted to update the sound of Since I've Been Loving You. And I was wondering why I love the song T for One so much. And that's what it was. It reminds me so much of Since I've Been Loving You. It's a very bluesy song, very straightforward. It's a slow song. And it just, it gives you that bluesy, makes you feel it kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those. I call it a drinking song. That's like I'm sitting in the bar, just fucking, yeah, smoking a cigarette, T for one.
T for one.
Whiskey for one. No,
right,
that would
Timmy.
be my number 5.
All right, number 4.
What's your? Yeah, is that where we're at? That's where we're at.
Coming in hot, bro. Talk about it. You want to talk about John Paul Jones doing some shit? Number 4, Trample Underfoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That fucking song, bro. Just
that's always a fun one in the car.
Every time I hear that song, it gets me going. That's like a
pump up song.
Dude, yeah, like if I'm like getting ready to do a show.
Oh, it's funky.
Like something to pick me up. That's one of the 5 songs I throw in to like fucking get myself ready. Trample Underfoot, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Boom, bam, bam, diggy, 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 down, chin, chin.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, yeah.
Makes you bob your head.
Fuck
yeah. Yeah, always love those.
It's grooving, man.
That song kills. It does. Trey?
Mm-hmm.
My number 4, baby. On to me, the one and only. My number 4 is going to be All of My Love. And
nice.
I love that song. It's one of my favorites, man. It's also, to me, it's very sad because apparently Robert Plant, I think John Paul Jones actually co-wrote it with him, but he started writing it or whatever about Robert Plant. They wrote it about his son, who his first son passed away when he was 5. So he wrote All of My Love. They wrote that for his son.
I think they canceled the tour when that happened. Or they
I was gonna say.
Yeah, he stopped and had to go home.
Yeah, because that's what I saw. So I was telling Shannon about that. I was like, man, it's so damn sad, reading this stuff. And they were on tour in the U.S. and his wife called him and told him while he was touring over here. So I'm like, man, it just sucks,
God damn.
So it put a whole whole new meaning to it for me.
Yeah.
And I already love that song, so I was just like, damn. Now when I listen to it,
it's not
I'm
like you're hours away. You're fucking a whole nother country away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. Man.
And it's back then, so I mean, there's no way you can get back. I mean, that takes
Uber
10,
to the
12 hours to get there. Yeah, you ain't Uber into London.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's terrible.
Private flights back then weren't just at a drop of a hat either.
Yeah.
I
think I've seen a interview with Robert Plant too, and he says I can't remember his son's name. He said his son's name. I can't remember.
I can't pronounce. I don't know if
it's like a Welsh name or something.
Yeah, K-Rock or something that says is K-A-R-A-C. Yeah, Carrick, I believe. K-A-R-A-C. Carrick.
Yeah. Well, it was actually more of a recent interview with Robert Plant. So he's almost 80 now or something.
He's getting up there, buddy.
He still writes music and stuff. And he said he was talking about his son. He's like, he actually comes up when I write songs every here and there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was reading that.
He didn't say it happens all the time. But it's like every now and again, it reminds him of him or something.
Yeah, he said
he's
that.
Like in the song.
I want to say, that's not the only song that he's written about his son in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the other songs that he's, like you were just saying, I don't know other songs he's really pieced about him, but I mean, I would think about my son, because my son's 4, so it's like, man,
Yeah, I don't like to think about
that's something. No, it's something that hurts your heart, So,
Bro,
but it puts a whole new meaning to that song for me.
I don't know what it's like.
So that's my number 4.
But I do know the closest I can come to that is like kid wise was when my wife was pregnant with her daughter, like she was like about ready to pop, and I was down in goddamn Florida. It was like the height of COVID, and finally I was like, it was like July fucking 10th, July 11th, something like that, and she was due like August 8th, and she was starting to have cramps and shit. And I was like, I finally just told my boss, I was like, bro, I was like, I got to have all these travel passports and shit. It was the height of COVID. I was like, I'm 16 and a half hours away from my house if something happens right now. Like, and it was like a Tuesday. I was like, I got to go. So he was like, can you work till Friday and we'll cut you loose? You know what I mean? And he was like, man, you'll be the first one. So Friday morning I got there. He was like, just pack your shit and leave, man. We're going to pay you for the day. And I just, 16 and a half hours. And I got lucky because, like, when she was due August 11th, and I got home like 2.5 weeks before the due date. And fucking, y'all know the story. Like, we went out that night and shit. And then she fucking, water just broke in the fucking bed like 4 days before she was supposed to be due. Fucking, goddamn. 3, 4, I think it was 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, if I'd have stayed, I'd have been coming home that night. That would have been the night I came home. That was when the job was supposed to end. So I wouldn't have even been here. You know what I mean? If I'd stayed, if I hadn't just listened to myself and just, Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's not to get off subject, but that's just, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't, I was having trouble just thinking about not being close. I was only 16 hours away. I weren't a whole fucking country away trying to get a plane and shit. You know what I mean? And my kid didn't die, but so I could just imagine what the fuck. Like, I can't even imagine what the fuck was going through his head, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like, God damn.
How many people does that have to go through to get to him, too?
Yeah, that's how I was thinking about that, too. Yeah.
Back then, I mean, fuck, he probably heard that from the fucking payphone or something, dude.
No, you had to.
When you think about the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you had to, like... Yeah. Hey, there was a phone call.
Hotel receptionist,
Yeah, like he was saying that, or she called someone who put them through, and it would have to be a nearby payphone.
Had to
either a nearby payphone, or exactly, either a nearby payphone or hotel, and it could have been a hotel. Really, that would have been me the closest because think of all the people trying. This is for Robert Plant. Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's tough. Sorry about all that, but
Morgan, what's your number?
Back on it.
Morgan.
Yeah, what? Morgan, what's
Morgan
your
himself,
number,
the Outlaw Destroyer.
I
love how he changed his name.
Yeah,
I just realized I didn't realize that until you said it. Morgan himself, the Outlaw Destroyer.
So I started laughing. I saw it.
Okay, so what? Number 4.
Yeah,
number 4.
Misty Mountain Hop.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell
Another Lord of the Rings song.
I didn't really care for it too much when I first started getting to Zeppelin, but over the years, like, it slowly grew on me more and more.
Yeah.
And like now, it's just anytime I hear it, like, I can't sing for shit, but I will go full Robert Plant on that song, just as loud as I can. I don't care where I'm at. Like,
Hell yeah. He said, I don't care where I'm at. They had it in Walmart. That was it.
It just sounds like he's having such a good time singing it.
Everybody's fucking hearing it.
Yeah. Neighbors love it too.
Play Misty Mountain Hop with Morgan's drinking at karaoke.
Swear to God.
All shows up at the house.
He's going to throw you out the way to grab that microphone.
I get a knock on the door at midnight. Animal control done got called to the house. Dying animal in the backyard.
Morgan's in there killing cats.
It's just me.
Oh, I don't even own a dog.
Sorry, I was getting the lead out.
Yeah.
They pull up and they automatically, we know. Morgan's still in there.
They're like, man, this is the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah. We've had 3 calls and we know you don't even have a pet.
There's a lady crying, so I'm here alone.
Hell yeah. Misty Mountain Hop.
Jumbo?
Mr. Jambalaya.
Jimbo's number 4.
Himself, the Outlaw Destroyer.
Dude, my favorite from it's from Led Zeppelin 3. it's my favorite song on the album. It's Celebration Day.
I love Celebration Day.
Yeah, that's always been my favorite off the album. And I'm not completely sure why. I think it's one of my favorite Jimmy Page solos. And it's not even like a big, intricate solo. It's pretty straightforward for Jimmy Page. But, man, I love the lyrics. You know, my face is cracked from smiling. All the fears she's been hiding. And it seems pretty soon everybody's going to know. Bow, down, down. Bow, down, down. It grooves for me, man. I love that shit.
Yeah.
That was when I first met Steele Cunningham.
What's that, Morgan?
When I first met Steele, like he never listened to Led Zeppelin, and I would ride with him to work every morning. So I'd bring a CD. I had a bunch of like Zeppelin CDs, and like he immediately fell in love with Zeppelin, and that was probably his favorite. Like
Celebration Day, hell yeah.
Every morning I'd fucking get in the Jeep and he'd have it playing. He's like, dude, have you heard this one? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
He instantly fell in love. I was like, I just did the world. That's my good deed.
There you go.
Did the world a favor.
Spread the lead.
That's right.
Spread the lead.
Kabow.
Sorry, I got a really short
name of this episode. Oh, you're good, buddy. You're good. We see your eyeballs.
We know you're just trying to show everybody your cock. You don't have to lie. It's good.
Live and uncensored.
Outside.
It's Morgan himself.
Right across from the police station, guys.
Morgan himself, the outlaw destroyer.
You can subscribe to his OnlyFans.
That's right. And he's gonna spread the lead.
He's starting this new text campaign. He'll text you, and for $5 donation, he'll send you a picture of his cock. And for $20, he won't. Your choice.
It's okay. Hey, I just realized something.
Yeah, surprisingly, I'm not making as much money as I could be.
We know.
What's your number 3, Timmy? Let's get back on subject.
God.
In the wake of Morgan's OnlyFans scheme that he's got going on, my number 3 is Heartbreaker, Live and Love and Made. I combine.
Nice.
Because
that's why it's 6 songs.
Yeah, that's 7.
If
yeah, he can't even count. Can we do 6?
If you man, you can't have Led Zeppelin without Heartbreaker or Live and Love.
Yeah,
I mean that's just that's staple right there for me. Like
for sure.
Hell yeah.
Like those are like my top 3. It's like if we're listening to Led Zeppelin, you're gonna hear Heartbreaker, Live and Love and Made.
Zeppelin 2.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, dude, fucking no doubt about it. And if you don't play it, I'll play it for you. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? Trey?
My number 3, I just realized looking at my damn thing, I actually wrote Black Dog for my number 3, so I don't know why. I said number 6, Black Dog. But in doing so, I'm actually, since we already talked about Black Dog and stuff, I'm just going to say, I'm going to go with a Whole Lot of Love. I'll go with that for my number 3.
Another killer.
I mean,
solid
there's
pick.
Yeah, pick. That or like Dazed and Confused. You know, any of my honorable mentions, I'll just throw it in there.
Throw it in there.
Yeah, I originally put, Shannon was like, Black Dog because it grooves. I was like, hey, I fuck with you now.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So
pretty much my 3 through 5 are interchangeable. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's like, man.
Oh, Morgan, what is your number 3?
Yeah.
Well, it was 3 and 4 were either or, but I decided I'm going to go with the Rover.
Nice.
Hey,
yeah. I decided to put that ahead of Miss You Mountain Hop, and I just wanted that in there. And I love the Rover, and that's like something that you never hear on the radio. Like it's one of I feel like it's one of their like deep hidden songs, obscure.
Yeah.
But man, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I was telling Timmy earlier when he said In the Evening was one of his favorites. I always get the Rover and the In the Evening mixed up.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember you talking about that.
Because they sound similar.
Hell, there's one like Greta Van Fleet song that every time I hear it, I swear that's all I can think of is the Rover, because it's like the exact same riff.
Right.
Which they do a couple times, but
it's the same band. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, those are the guys who said they didn't know
actually,
who Led Zeppelin was.
Say they're trying to be Zeppelin 2, but more like Zeppelin 0.5.
Yeah.
No, but they love Aerosmith though.
That's true. Yeah, they were not influenced by Zeppelin.
They say. Yeah, they weren't influenced.
I saw a thing, and that's what. Actually, what's funny is, do you remember when we used to go hang out at Steve's? Morgan, Jimbo, myself, when we go hang out at Steve's.
Yeah.
Y'all, that's actually when y'all got me. Morgan got me with the. Have you heard this new unreleased Zeppelin stuff? And he started playing Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was actually hard to pull off too, because we had to break them from
Greta
Chili
Van
Peppers.
Fleet. Yeah, I was like.
For anyone who doesn't know, our buddy Steve was all about the Chili Peppers, and then we broke out some.
Morgan's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
It's sitting on my dash, connected to my charger, which is down here near the floor. So it's like stretched out, and it keeps pulling.
That's all right.
Yeah, I might have enough. I can unplug it.
Little context: our buddy Steve, we used to go hang out with him, and he was all about the Chili Peppers, and he listened to the same album over and over again. And it was so hard to break him to listen to something else.
Yeah.
And Morgan got him listening to Greta Van Fleet. Yeah, Morgan's album.
Yeah.
I had By the Way on vinyl.
Yeah. He wouldn't let him take it back.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's still in pretty good condition. I thought he was going to wear it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in doing that actually, because everybody was like, damn, they do sound like Led Zeppelin. So that's actually what got me into listening to Zeppelin. Because before that, I really didn't listen to Zeppelin that much. And I ended up going out and buying Zeppelin stuff to compare to the Greta Van Fleet stuff I had. And I was just like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
Their first stuff was total Zeppelin. I mean, their last couple albums, they've started to make their own sound.
Yeah, they've deviated, definitely.
But that first song, when we were with Steve in the car heading to Emerald Isle, and I heard it on the radio, and I was like, this sounds like Zeppelin, but I know for a fact that's not a Zeppelin song.
Yeah. Like, I've heard every Zeppelin song there is. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't
not on 106.5.
Jimbo?
No, it was a great pick, Morgan. Great pick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Number 3
That's
for
actually
me.
One of the hold on. That's actually one of the only songs I can play on guitar.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go.
Like 80% through.
Yeah. Hey, I give it to you. And for anybody that doesn't know,
the first 3 verses until it starts getting real technical.
Yeah. Yeah. Morgan, this guy over here, he's left-handed and he plays guitar standard and he teaches himself. So, for anybody that wants to talk,
that got me.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just like, hey, still, and that's badass to me. So most people just give up off the bat. They're like, I can't play. I'm left-handed.
I think Morgan's the only other dude here that loves Zeppelin as much as me.
Probably more.
Possible.
Yeah.
I've got a tattoo artist. She's willing to do the Icarus tattoo on me. And
there you go.
I showed her what I wanted, and she was going to do it for like $50 because she just started, but she's really good. Like, she's just a natural artist. I've seen the work she's been doing. She's really good, and it's not hard. I'm not asking for nothing crazy, but it was either that or Dragon Balls.
You get it like
like
Superman, like whole chest piece.
Well, I was gonna do that. I was gonna do it on my back shoulder blade, but it was either that or Dragon Balls. 7 little tiny random Dragon Balls scattered throughout the body.
One's on your ball sack.
Yeah, I mean, if you find all 7, you can make a wish.
All I heard was he was gonna get fucking naked guy tattooed on his back to Dragon Balls on his back.
Dragon Balls.
And first thing that went through my head was like Dragon Balls. Like all I could think of was like a fucking dragon with a.
Well, I mean, it's my tattoo. I can do what I want. He doesn't have to be naked.
That's right.
I could put an AC/DC tank top on him.
There you go.
Or give him a
Led Zeppelin shirt.
Gene Simmons face paint on the Icarus.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's right. That would be killer. Gene Simmons
With an
face
AC/DC
paint.
T-shirt.
No, a blotter T-shirt.
that'd be wild.
AC/DC T-shirt and some Cheap Trick shorts.
At one point, I was gonna get the
flash
Grinch
hat.
tattooed on me wearing a blotter shirt.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna have him leaning up on the other side, opposite of Bugs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Oh shit!
I had to move the lantern. The headlamp
There
in my
you go.
Jeep's dead.
All right.
Damn. So Jimbo,
Yeah, Jimbo.
what is your number
Oh, yeah,
three?
yeah.
Number three.
Number
buddy.
three,
Back on subject, my guy.
hands down.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Like this, it's kind of like what Morgan said. Like my top three could probably interchange pretty easily.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Number three for me would be No Quarter.
No Quarter. Yeah, that's a good one.
One of the most badass Led Zeppelin songs.
That is
Now,
a great
I
song.
never knew how badass that song was until I actually saw. I was with Morgan. We went and saw Zoso,
Those, yeah.
which is
Oh
one of
yeah,
the
they did
best-
a great job. It sounded great
Yes.
live.
one of the best Zeppelin tribute bands there are. Like,
I mean, but
hands
I know
down.
why you really like it,
Why?
because it sounds like Tool.
God.
I think they even did a cover of it.
Yeah, Tool get a cover of that. I don't actually like that cover, honestly.
Jimbo's
I mean, it's
favorite
alright.
song ever. He just won't tell nobody.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't think that's a great cover.
Tool and Zeppelin. Oh.
Please, my dick can only get so erect.
Biggest,
for real.
biggest, veiniest clitoris you ever seen in your life.
Ever.
Thanks, Timmy.
Yeah, man.
Looks just like the Icarus, just a round bump. So, Timmy, what is your number two, my boy? Am I the only one who can stay on track, my guy?
Man, my number two is Misty Mountain Hop. Because
Okay.
I fucking love that song, man.
Because I love it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do, man. Fucking Misty Mountain Hop is a badass goddamn song.
Hell yeah. It is.
I just can't help it. Yeah, I mean, just the fucking another John Paul Jones show off song, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
For some reason, I always get that one and Houses of the Holy mixed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I know it's the I don't realize what it is until they get into the singing part.
right.
I found somewhere it was like a cover of Misty Mountain Hop, but it was just instrumental, just the guitar, but it was done in the style of Van Halen. And man, like it sounded awesome with that guitar.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up. See that bringing Van Halen right
we
back.
love our Van Halen.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Yeah, it was just the instrumentals though. And I can't.
Hell
I don't remember where it was or how to find it, but it was pretty badass.
yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, everyone knows we love Van Halen on this show.
That's right.
What's your number?
Moving on to me. My number two is Since I've Been Loving You. Just because Jimmy
Hell
Page, his guitar on that song, like it's not even the lyrics of the song so much. It's just Jimmy Page's guitar is like so emotional on that song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really grabs you right off the first bit. Boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. Like right off the bat, just gets you. Yeah, exactly. It's another one. and you got Bottom comes in and it's just and it complements so well.
Absolutely.
You know, it just complements so well, and throughout the song, his little licks and stuff like that is just like very tasteful. Very tasteful.
If you made it a present, you'd have been like 2 for 1.
Yeah. See. I know I'm not the best doing my research. But
no, that's a great one, man. I love.
That's my number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan, what you got for number 2?
Fool in the Rain.
Hell yeah, dude! That one was literally.
And that's not an interchangeable one. Like that's solid number 2. I love that song.
Hell
especially when they break it down with like the whistle, and then the guitar comes in and just starts fucking killing it, man. I love every minute of it.
Is that on Into the Outdoor also?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like the second song, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's the third one.
The third song. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
See, another reason to like Into the Outdoor.
That's actually one of my favorite songs. That's honestly
one of the reasons.
I never said I hated Into the Outdoor. I just wouldn't put it as my top album.
I think that was like my top honorable mention. Like I almost put that on my top 5. Morgan's like, that's my number 2, bitch.
Yeah.
Jimbo. It ain't going nowhere.
He's like, that's my number 2, solid. Top that, Jimbo. Fucking.
I will. And my number 2 is Ramble On.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Love Ramble On.
Yeah.
I really like the acoustic aspect of it. It was less on that album. There was less acoustics than like Zeppelin 3, but I love how another spot where John Bonham comes in later. There's only one thing I got to do. Ramble on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how that little fill there.
Yeah.
Very
That's
tasteful.
What this world's missing these days.
Good drum fill.
Like in the 70s, there was a lot of rambling going on, and there's just nobody rambles anymore.
That is true, you know.
You need more rambling.
We need somebody. We need somebody to ramble on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
more
just
rambling
it.
men.
Hey, I actually mentioned rambling in Reflections.
Oh God!
There you go.
I actually do. That just hit me.
Yeah,
I love the offbeat on that when it's ramble on.
Yeah. Dude, that's like one of my favorite things. I feel like he does that a lot throughout their music, and it's just great.
Yeah, I want to go back to what Trey was talking about when they're like mentioning like the Lord of the Rings references.
Yeah.
I read it. The funniest part about it is that part of the song is when he's talking about what he's singing about is like a love triangle between Robert Plant, Gollum
and
Sauron, the Dark Lord. They're all going after the same chick. I just always thought that was just hilarious to put into a song.
I want to say somebody said he had a dream.
Yeah. Like they're all like going after the same chick. I was like, what?
Yeah, I heard it. He had like a dream. It's like he had a dream, and that's what they were all going after the same girl or something.
Yeah.
And that's like
the only thing that
I love that. I love that.
Slipped away with her.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
Isn't there like 2 different versions of that song?
I'm not sure about that. There could be.
I mean, for years listening to it, like the guitar sounded one way, and then all of a sudden when I started listening to it on YouTube and even the radio, like it sounded like a completely different version. Like parts of it were cut out.
I think what it is
that
goes back to the full stereo image. I was actually talking about this before you jumped on here with the reverb, like the reverb chamber and shit. How when they recorded it, they recorded it in true stereo. So the guitar actually comes out of only one side, and they feed the reverb chamber through the other side. I actually do that.
Okay, that makes sense because that perfectly describes like the differences.
What it is, I hear it on 106.5 sometimes. they'll be playing it and it's like missing half the guitar. And you're like,
yeah,
what
yeah,
the
like
fuck?
it's not even there, or if
Yeah.
it is, it's like very light
it's
in the
ghost.
background.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what it is.
And that's the one that like came out
yeah.
that I kept hearing on the radio, and I kept finding on YouTube, and
just doesn't sound right.
No, that's exactly
it's how they upload it and everything, like Timmy's talking about, and you have it panned. So that's awesome. That's,
like
that's exactly what it is.
When you hear a lot of times, like Van Halen's another band that's bad for that when they do it, because like Van Halen 1 and 2, there was only like 2 songs on each album that actually had an overdubbed guitar. And when you hear it on the radio sometimes, when you listen to like Running with the Devil, the solo will be so low. It'll actually be, it sounds like a ghost guitar playing, because it's not playing full stereo image, so it's missing one whole guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fucking it's not you, bro. It's not you.
Well, I was just making sure, because I remember saying something and like everyone looked at me like what are you talking about?
No, they probably
the same person.
They're not listening to it the same way you are, my guy. They're not on that level.
I hate to say
they're not well versed in their Zeppelin.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when you're not a musician, they don't pay attention to things like that. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You don't hear it the same way. It's like when I was a kid, I didn't really mind AC/DC. Now that I play guitar, I'm just like,
yeah. Dude, you know what I mean? Like dude, I can't help it. Like when I listen to music, the first thing I fucking do is like my wife, she'll be listening to a song, and she's like, I love this song. Like just a random ass song, and the first thing that comes through my mind is, the production on that's fucking horrible. How are you listening to this? Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, it's hard for me to approach a song as like, just sit there and listen to it, take the musical part of you out and everything you like. That's really hard to fucking do. You know what I mean? Like, every time I listen to a song, I'm like analyzing it. I'm like, the hi-hat's all the way on the right side. They didn't even, it's panned, you know what I mean? And my wife, she'll be like, you just can't enjoy anything, can you?
You start criticizing. You criticize every piece of music you hear.
Yeah, I mean, and not to say that like what I'm saying is necessarily bad. I mean, I that's how I learned half the shit I've learned, is like listening and just with a critical fucking ear. You know what I mean? But anyway,
this guy.
But yeah, you're not crazy, Morgan.
Fish it back, my boy. Fish it back.
Man, I scratched my ear.
Lost it.
But
all right, I got a few more minutes. We're on number 1 now, right?
Number 1.
Number 1.
And it's me, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Time for me to go.
Spill the beans, my boy.
My number 1.
I caught it, Timmy.
Yeah. Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you.
I caught it.
My number 1 song, feeding off what Jimbo was talking about, is Ramble On. Because I fucking love that song, man.
Well, we all had that in our top 5.
Honestly, the only song that didn't make my list, other than Ramble On, was going to be number 1, and I ultimately chose not to put Going to California on there. But that would have definitely probably been, if I'd have stuck that on my list, that would have probably been in the top 2 also. I fucking, like, to me, those songs are, personally, they're like interchangeable. But Ramble On, man, that song just fucking does it for me.
I almost put Going to California in my top 5 too. I ain't gonna lie.
Fucking, it's soft, and then it's hard, and then it's got that fucking, I don't know, man, that solo to be so simple, it's just awesome.
It's flaccid and it's full erection.
Dude, I swear to God, you know what I mean? It's like Morgan's OnlyFans, and then like he goes into like the private show, you know what I mean? Like that's, you know what I mean? It's like that, you know what I mean?
Oh, you're gonna want to go to the private show.
You know what I'm saying?
Down.
If you catch it at the right time of year when my sciatica's hitting up, what I like to do is I like to lean over the kitchen counter during like full sciatic attack and try out all the new flavors of Pop-Tarts while crying.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
God, I love you.
It's
look like the guy from they look like the guy from Pineapple Express eating the burger on the swing crying.
Yeah.
It's actually like that's the thing me and Jimbo have been doing. Anytime you get a random text, that's just a gif of James Franco sitting on a swing crying. It's like your first response is sciatic. Yep.
Yeah, sciatica.
Hell yeah.
For anybody that wants that link, that's Morgan at blotterpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
That's OnlyFans.
Morgan.
My OnlyFans is
Morgan
the angry
himself.
Pop-Tart.
So, yeah, the outlaw destroyer.
The OnlyFans / the angry Pop-Tart. Fuck yeah.
It's also my PlayStation name if anyone wants to find me.
The angry Pop-Tart. Okay, so that brings it. Let's
Which
bring it
brings us
home.
to Trey's number one.
Yeah, my number one is gonna be "Over the Hills and Far Away."
I love that song.
Over the hills.
Over the hills.
Over the hills, far away.
Man, me and Morgan got to tell you a story about that song, Trey.
The lyrics are just great in that song, but I don't know. It makes me smile. I like that song.
Yeah, no, that's a great song. It's a happy song.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
It's the live version. I never like any of the live versions because he just can't hit those notes like he does in the studio.
Yeah.
Except for How the West Was Won.
Yes. Yeah.
On that album, he fucking nailed it.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was hard to keep that album off. We try to keep the live albums off there.
That was gonna be in my top, but
yeah.
That's
If
right
we were doing live albums, that would have definitely been my top. Yeah.
Yeah, if we were doing live, it would have been my number one for sure.
Hell yeah.
I think
that's my number one.
Yeah.
Trey, a little story about Over the Hills and Far Away. When me and Morgan went and saw Zozo the first time, there was this old drunk dude in the crowd, and after every song, all he would say was "Over the hills."
Everything would just get completely quiet, and you would just hear "Over the hills."
Yeah.
I don't think they ever played it either.
They never played it.
They didn't play it because of that guy.
Because of that guy.
It was their free bird. Like, God damn it, they're leaning back. If I hear that song, we're not playing that night. We're not.
Yeah, they had a quick band.
Yeah. If I hear it one more time,
Robert Plant can't do it live. I can't.
If I hear that guy scream that one more time, I'm taking this double neck to his fucking head. So.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Which brings us to Morgan.
Morgan.
Number one,
hey Trey.
Number one,
It's
you, bro.
Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, he had to be that guy.
I'm sorry, I can't. I was fucking with you. I couldn't hold it, man. No. No. I'm sorry. 10 Years Gone. That's my number one.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that song. Like, I don't know, it just puts me in a whole nother world. Like, when someone asks you, like, what's your favorite song, like, just in general, and, like, as many bands and as many songs as I absolutely love, it's so hard to just pin it on one favorite song that you have to just settle on something. Well, I settle with that, no regrets. I love that song. That's my all-time favorite, like, out of everything.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's another song I also learned to play 86% of the way.
Fuck yeah.
Well, 86
like from start, not start to finish, but like from start to about like a minute left.
I
haven't touched a guitar in probably 4 years, so I probably don't even know that anymore.
Damn it.
No, I love the fucking guitar in that song, man. Like that was I don't know if I told you, Morgan, that was my number 6, was 10 Years Gone.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. And I even like the Jimmy Page and Black Crowes version.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Page just wails on that version, man. And I just love that guitar.
Yeah, Timmy, Trey, if you want a good live album, Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes live at the Greek.
All right.
Right. Yeah, they play a bunch of Zeppelin shit, man.
I think they're actually coming out with a new album and going back on tour. The Black Crowes.
Oh, nice.
I think that would be a fun one to go see because when we went and saw them, dude, that was pretty awesome.
They were opening up. They were opening up for Aerosmith. I don't know if they're still going to open.
They are. Yeah. They were
on hiatus for a long time.
Well, I was going to try to take. I know they rescheduled the Raleigh show for 2025 because I was going to buy tickets and then they put them on hold because Steven Tyler fucking like blew his voice out.
Yeah.
And but I was going to take Lydia to I think it's the PNC Arena like March of next year. And it's the Aeros. It's like the third from the last show for their farewell tour. And as of now, it still says Aerosmith and Black Crowes, but we'll see if it changes.
Yeah.
Well, they just dropped a new song not too long ago.
Who?
Oh, yeah. You sent me that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds a lot like Jealous Again.
Jealous Again, yeah.
They were supposed to be done, but I don't know. That'd be a fun show to see.
How many bands are supposed to be done and weren't?
Well, you know, whenever you have like a set of brothers, they're always
like the 90s.
Timmy?
No?
What?
Didn't Kiss do like their farewell tour in like 96 or something like that?
2000.
Was it?
Yeah, 96 was the reunion tour, and then it was the Psycho Circus tour, and then it was the farewell tour.
Yeah, farewell. 2000? It's 24 years.
And then,
exactly.
Then they decided that it was a farewell tour to the original members, which, not to get off subject, but apparently Paul and Gene did not want Ace to leave. They could have cared less if Peter left. That's my understanding. They really didn't want Ace to leave. And then Ace just fucking, when I say left, he just left. He just didn't show up one day. And that was it.
Damn.
Like, they were going to pay him $1 million. No, that was the last show. They were going to pay him. They paid him $1 million to go play one show at this island somewhere. They had hired Kiss. And he was like, they were like, Ace, we want you to do it. We'll pay you $1 million. And even Pete, like, Peter didn't go, but Paul was like, he told Peter Chris, he was like, I'll give you $1 million of my own money plus the $45,000 that we were paying you a night to come play one show. And Pete denied it. And then the only reason Pete ever got back with the band was because the Aerosmith camp said that they had to have 3 original members. And Ace was just not, he wouldn't contact them. So they got Peter to go do that World Domination tour. That was the first tour I seen him with. It was Peter, Paul, Gene, and Tommy. Because Ace was supposed to be at the Symphony concert. Ace was still contracted with them that whole tour. They were waiting for Ace to come back. And then it was apparent that that Ace wasn't coming. So Tommy played the Symphony concert and then went and did the Aerosmith tour. And then after Peter left, Kiss was like, well, fuck it. Let's keep touring.
Well, I mean, you can't end it on that. That sounds pretty shitty.
So then they got another 24 years. But to their credit, I will give them this. All Paul has done was bitch about how he wanted to be done. And, you know, people are like, well, the End of the Road tour went on for 5 years. 2 years of that, they couldn't tour because of COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
It was supposed to be done in 2021. You know what I mean? I mean, it was only supposed to be a 2.5-year tour. You know what I mean? But whatever. So, we'll get to that when we start talking about Kiss in our 5-hour Kiss episode.
By 5 hours, we mean 4 hours and 45 minutes of Timmy talking about Kiss, and then me and Trace popping in for the last 15.
We're going to go with decade to decade, 1 hour a decade, you know.
No, bringing back to Zeppelin, my number one song.
Yeah, there we go. That's why I was trying to bring it back.
Is definitely Trampled Underfoot.
Fuck yeah.
Because that song is like, man, every time I put it on, that is like the unskippable song. Like, I will never skip that song.
Yeah, that song kills.
Like every time that boom, bam, boom, bam, 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 bam. Oh man, and it comes in with the drums. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I'm just. Mm-hmm. I'll be driving at work.
You're getting into it right now.
Driving down the road, just people looking at me like I'm crazy.
Jimbo's getting into it right now.
Oh, dude, I can hear it in my head.
Yeah,
I can hear it in my head.
I can too.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
I think that's some of my favorite. Not only is it my favorite Zeppelin song, I think it's some of my favorite vocals. Like, just period.
Like lyrically or singing?
Singing wise.
I got you.
I mean, the lyrics, yeah, they're good, but just the feel and Robert Plant's voice in that song is just so on point. It makes you groove, man.
Yeah.
And Timmy, we talked about a song a while back. I can't remember which episode it was. It was a song that had that bounce to it.
Yeah, I remember.
What song was it? Do you remember?
I can't think of the song. If you knew the episode, I could tell you.
See, I can't remember what. It was one of those. Oh.
Let's see. I got my shit right here. Let me look through here.
Well, Timmy's crunching the numbers on that. Yeah, Trampled Underfoot. When that album came out, that was one of the highlights of the album, like in general, and that actually became one of their staple songs live, and they played that song every show after that.
Oh yeah.
And it really towards the like second half of Led Zeppelin's career, like as Led Zeppelin, like with John Bonham.
Yeah.
It was very heavily influenced by John Paul Jones' keyboard skills.
Yeah.
And it's very apparent in that song.
Oh yeah.
Just that pop, that funk, man. Oh man. Still in my head. Bouncing. That's all. That's what I would call it. It's like a bounce.
It wasn't Black Sabbath, was it?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
It definitely wasn't ZZ Top or Alice in Chains.
Okay, well, I got like a minute or so. As far as fun facts, did y'all want to go over the Mud Shark story or just the general hotel destruction?
Morgan, I wanted you, because I know Morgan is like I said, is a huge Zeppelin fan. Dude,
Zeppelin Wikipedia.
Can you recount the story of how they began?
The story of
Jimmy Page was with the Yardbirds. Yes.
Jimmy Page was like one of the last members to join the band. I think he started on bass guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then all the specific details escape me, but eventually everyone ended up quitting the band, and all that was left was Jimmy Page. Like, he was the last one to join and the last one left, but he had all the rights to like their songs and the name and all that. So then he went out to create the new Yardbirds.
Yeah.
Which he had a singer in mind, and can't remember the dude's name, but the guy said he couldn't do it because like he couldn't drop everything at the moment. But he recommended Robert Plant, and then Robert Plant recommended John Bonham.
John Bonham, yeah.
And that's what they got together. They played their first show as the new Yardbirds.
Wasn't John Bonham? He was like the drummer for the band that, or he was the previous drummer for the band that Robert Plant was in.
Plant sang, yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I believe that.
That's how they knew each other. That's how.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Page knew John Paul Jones through, because John Paul Jones was professional. Yeah, he did a lot of studio sessions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember watching this documentary, and there was they said there was this hotel that they would always stay in when they went to like California. I can't remember the name of it, but they would rent out like the entire top floor, and like they had been booted from the hotel a couple of times because they liked to, get hammered, and they would take the TVs from one room, like on one side of the hotel, and then go to the other side of the hotel and throw them out the windows of the other rooms. So like when management would come up and like question them about it, they'd be like, "Look, the TVs are still here," but it was like from different rooms.
Yeah.
And one chick said like she's like some groupie. She got in the elevator, and when they got to the top floor, the door opened, and like as soon as it opened, she just saw like a bunch of naked people sliding past her. They had taken the hallway and made a giant slip and slide.
Yeah.
And then John Bonham did a burnout on his motorcycle in the hotel lobby. And I think like they kept that mark for years. Like they left it there in the carpet.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's badass. Yeah.
It's like rock and roll legend. They made a plaque for it.
Yeah, cut it out. They put that on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Frame that bitch.
That's most of what I know, other than I don't know what album. I think it was the Black Dog album. Shit, I can't remember which one that was on.
Black Dog? 4, yeah.
Yeah, but they had bought like a really old house out in the country because that's where they wanted to go to record and write, to get away from everything.
Yeah.
And when they were in the house, they like opened up a closet and there was like this old, like mummified dead dog, like just laying in the closet. It just had been there fucking forever, and that's why they named it Black Dog.
Oh shit! See?
Oh, contradicting trades.
Contradicting me. That I believe that one more than what I heard.
I like that story better.
Well, I don't know what you said. That's just what I saw.
To me, that makes more sense why they would call it that. I heard that there was a black dog that had got into the studio while they were recording, and they just named that song after the black dog because
I guess that would make sense. I mean, the dog got in.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it could be. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I don't have sources in front of me. So
that's what I was going to say.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, exactly. I went off of something I read, but I was telling them, I mean, it could be bullshit, but I mean, I thought that was like pretty funny. But at the same time, you think about it, it would make, I say your story, it sounds more legit because if a dog comes in while we're recording, we're probably going to end up stop recording or someone's trying to fucking boot the dog out while we're recording. You know what I mean? So you never know though. But
I did have a couple to bring up to go along with what Morgan's saying. When the first show they ever played together as Led Zeppelin, like they like Morgan said, he had the rights to Jimmy Page had the rights to the Yardbirds name.
Yeah, they originally played as the New Yardbirds. Yeah,
apparently they had said he got a cease and desist letter from whoever the fuck, I can't remember his name, to he wasn't allowed to use the name anymore because it was only to like finish that tour or something. Like that Yardbirds tour. They had like a bunch of dates they were contracted to play and they needed to finish the dates, and then after that, but he wasn't allowed to use the name after that. So they made them change the name. And I believe, Morgan, you told me, who was it? Pete Townsend from The Who?
Yeah, it was one of them from The Who and a couple other like notable band members from other bands. They were like at a party or something, and they were just kind of like shooting the shit and, talking about breaking off and forming like a super group, and they were trying to come up with band names.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the Zeppelin came from, because there used to be a saying, like it's going down like a Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And that's just a great band name.
Yeah.
Sounds
like BLOTTER.
When they decided on that name, the first show they ever played as Led Zeppelin was on October 25th, 1968. Where? I do not know.
Damn, that was Dad's like third birthday.
Is that his birthday?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And I want to say the first time they toured in America, like when they went back to England, like they instantly wanted to come back to America because they weren't like England didn't treat them as good as America did. Like Americans fucking loved them, and like they were so in England. You know,
because we know what's up.
Crazy.
That's right.
Yeah, like that. There's a live recording that I always love. It's How Many More Times.
Yeah.
It was like on like black and white. One of their early, like, I think it was like a television performance or something. Like Robert Plant even introduces the band, like introducing Led Zeppelin, and says all their names, and they just start rocking. But like everyone in the crowd is just like, they're all sitting there Indian style on the floor, just like nodding their heads like they don't know what to do. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Like,
they don't know what this
these guys
is.
there's a freaking hurricane in front of you.
Run. Hell yeah.
Well, see, that's crazy to me, because I read that every album they had was like #1 in the UK, and only 6 of them were #1 in the US.
Maybe that was just later on. You know, I mean, when they finally caught on, album sales went up.
Hey man, those guys over there that we think are great, they're actually from over here, man.
And I think that might have something to do with like, they were heavily influenced by like American blues. So I wonder.
A lot of those British rockers.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Like I wonder if that translated over to America. You know what I mean?
Started in America, influenced England, and then a lot of American rockers were influenced by the English dudes.
Yeah, who were playing like I said, like the Lemon song is really the Killing Floor by Howlin' Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was telling them that, earlier, like the Lemon song is literally, I put AKA Killing Floor because that's what it is. It's Howlin' Wolf's Killing Floor. But a lot of those artists were influenced by the blues players here, and then they would do covers and stuff, release them on their albums, and people were like, "Oh, it's like my favorite song," and it's like, "Oh, well, it came from right here,"
Yeah.
That's like I was telling Jimbo and Timmy earlier, that Jimmy Page is like, out of all his guitars, he had a 1968 Les Paul Black Beauty, a Les Paul Custom with the 3 humbuckers and everything, and that was like his main studio guitar. And when he come to tour in America, someone stole it. So he loved that guitar so much, and he was just like, fuck, man, he missed it. And I don't know if they were jamming at the same studio or just hanging out somewhere or something, but it was for like a little while. And he caught wind of he was hanging out with Joe Walsh, and he got to bullshitting, and Joe Walsh had that Sunburst Les Paul or whatever that everybody knows that Jimmy Page has, like his #1 guitar. He actually bought that from Joe Walsh. So that's what Joe Walsh used for like Rocky Mountain Way and James Gang and stuff like that. It was that Les Paul, same Les Paul. So like Timmy was saying, I told Timmy and Jimbo about this earlier before we started the podcast and stuff, and like Timmy was saying, if that guitar could talk, it's like Jesus.
Yeah, man, like, it never ceases to amaze me how like not less so like American wise, like the Joe Walsh and shit, but like all the British musicians, like how they all knew each other around that same period. Like they all knew of each other. They all played together.
Wasn't like Eric Clapton in the Yardbirds for like a brief period?
Eric Clapton, I believe Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck and
Jimmy Page.
I think Jeff Beck
the Yardbirds were like a big deal.
Yeah, they were like a super group. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton,
was it
Jimmy
Steve
Page.
Winwood too?
And
I think.
And think about that, bro. It was like,
I think also someone who jammed with them at the same time was
and then you
Keith
had
Richards.
Cream.
Steve Winwood, is that the guy from The Faces?
Steve Winwood. Fucking.
I know he was with Blind Faith, right?
And then he did.
I might be thinking of a
shit.
different Steve.
Yeah, I think Keith Richards also hung out with them at the same time.
I'm thinking of Steve Marriott.
That was The Faces, I believe.
Yeah, The Faces.
Yeah, he's the like the one of the main guys or whatever.
And also, who was the other guitar player with The Faces?
No,
was like the guitar player. He went on to play with
I think he sang for
the Rolling
else,
Stones. His name's Ronnie Wood.
Oh,
Ronnie Wood
is it
played.
Ronnie Wood?
He was the guitar player for
the
Rod
Faces.
Stewart. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and Rod Stewart. Yeah,
And then he's playing with the Stones.
Was he? I didn't think so.
Yeah, he plays with the Stones now.
Yeah.
Steve Marriott
now, yeah.
was the singer of the Faces.
Yeah, okay.
And then when he left, they brought in Rod Stewart, and it became the Small Faces.
Yeah,
or no, it used to be the Small Faces,
yeah.
and then
it was the Faces. Yeah.
Who did Steve Marriott go on to play with? He went to play with another band.
Humble Pie.
Humble Pie, yes. With Peter Frampton. Yeah.
Yeah.
30 days in the hole. Oh, yeah.
But
I thought
that's
it was
what I was going to
funny.
say. Oh, go ahead, Morgan.
I was going to say, I guess the band, according to the band Vanilla Fudge, that Led Zeppelin they're full of shit and lying bastards. Because they were mad because everyone was giving Zeppelin the credit for the Mud Shark incident. And
please explain the Mud Shark incident.
Yeah, I'm lost here. You got me.
Oh, it's funny because as much as I know about Zeppelin, like it was probably like a month or two ago, my girlfriend, like she mentioned the Mud Shark, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I never fucking heard it. And she was like, are you kidding me? Like, they're your favorite band, you've never heard the Mud Shark story? I was like, no. So I instantly looked it up, and I fell in love. It's great. So apparently Led Zeppelin stayed at a hotel in Seattle or something, and there was some groupie who, the rumor is that she was tied up on the bed, and they sexually assaulted her with a mud shark, like an actual shark.
Jesus Christ.
There's like tons
legit
of different
rock and roll, folklore.
But the story changes. Like there's tons of different versions of it. Like
I don't
there
know
was
about
ones
that.
that say she was willing, some she was tied up, some she wasn't. They never actually she was never identified. She never came forward. So there's no evidence that it ever really happened, but there is some strong evidence. Like
just a
John Bonham was supposedly involved. Like he was the one that did it. And he was known, because in that hotel, it was popular because you could fish out your window. And he was there at the time, confirmed, and he loved to fish. But then the band Vanilla Fudge was at the hotel, at that same time. And apparently they took credit for it. It cracks me up, of all things, this is the hill you want to die on. Nah, screw that. That was us.
That was us.
That was our.
They were proud of it. They took full credit for it.
It was probably them.
Zeppelin was probably they can have it.
But apparently that whole incident kind of hung over their heads for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's what the rumor was. It's never confirmed, but
Bonham just happened to be there. He was actually fishing. He's one that he caught the mud shark and gave it to him. Here, you weirdos.
Yeah.
It went pretty viral, or at least viral for that time period.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And but there was never there's never any confirmation, proof or evidence. But something happened, and apparently Vanilla Fudge.
The drummer for Vanilla Fudge, wasn't it not Vinny Appice, his brother, Carmine? Carmine Appice?
I don't know.
Wasn't he the drummer for Vanilla Fudge?
I think he was. I'm pretty sure.
So he's up there oh no, it was probably a drummer thing.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I was about to say,
Bottom caught the shark.
Think they can come in and steal the credit? No.
Yeah.
No, that was us.
That was us.
You need to say something, bro.
What's hilarious is no one believes him.
Yeah. The one thing you try to take credit for, nobody believes you.
Yeah. But of all things to try and take credit for,
caught the fish, gave it to him.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be was it the band? What are they called? Spirit? Not Spirit. It's something Spirit, something like that. Or that was the name of the song. It was the guys that was suing, and this was a few years ago. They sued Zeppelin for stealing their riff and stuff like that. for not
Oh,
Days of
no,
for Stairway to Heaven.
Or Stairway.
Yeah,
they ended up losing that.
Yeah, because they were saying they went on tour during was it Zeppelin 3 or something or 2? So it was before they came out with
the song.
With the song,
Zeppelin
and
4.
they were like, that's what I'm saying. So it was like 2 or 3 when they were on tour before they did 4, and they were talking about, that was what song we were playing, and they're trying to say they haven't heard it live. They were touring with Zeppelin at the time. And they had recordings.
Well, it was all about
us
the opening riff, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. That was what it was about. Was the opening riff? They were like, Jimmy Page definitely stole that from us. That's ours. We were playing that live while we were touring with them.
About that is,
but we're gonna wait 44 years or something
to
see.
Something fucking years. You know what I mean?
They were like, I'm gonna wait until they really get all the money.
So many chord combinations,
exactly.
So many songs sound the same, but I mean, once you get past that part, it's a completely different song.
Yeah.
And even Robert Plant did an interview. He hates that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's notorious.
He liked it back in the day.
Yeah, he doesn't like that song.
Now looking back,
I don't think he ever liked that song. I saw an interview with him. He said he could never remember the words. He's like, there's something about. He's like, there's something about some bitch spring cleaning. It's just a spring clean for the main queen.
Yeah.
He said that was where he was at in that point of his life. He wrote the lyrics, and that's where he was, and but looking back, he's now he's like, I can't relate to that at all, and he does not like that song.
Right.
He likes that song about as much as Warrant likes Cherry Pie.
Cherry Pie.
Yeah, I read.
I like.
He actually, for Robert Plant in particular, his favorite song they ever did was "Kashmir."
Yeah.
That was his. He
that's
thought that
my
was
least favorite song.
That was his. That was his favorite that they ever did was "Kashmir."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's like
sample that for Godzilla.
I think so.
Who did?
Puffy. Well, at the time, Puffy.
Oh yeah,
and it became Diddy, and now he's the diddler.
Yeah.
Well,
gotta be careful. Gotta be careful.
He's on the run now.
Oh shit! No shit.
Yeah.
Back to before we get on that. I was gonna say that's like a Live and Love and Made. They never played it live, right? And they only, I think Robert Plant played it before. What was it when he or was it? I can't remember. It was something like Live and Love and Made was a song they never played live, like the original lineup of Zeppelin, because Jimmy Page hates that song or something like that. And that's one of the few songs they've never played live.
Personally, I actually like that better than Heartbreaker.
Yeah, me too.
Every time I hear Heartbreaker, when the song ends, I'm
ready to go.
To hear that come in. And I actually really like that song.
Yeah, me too, dude.
Yeah.
Timmy actually turned me on to that song. I'm not gonna lie. I heard Timmy play it once when he was jamming with some guys we know, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And I was gonna jam with them, and he gave me the song list, and it was on there, and I played it. It was just like, oh, I fell in love with that song. I was like, hell yeah, I fuck with this.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs. I ain't gonna lie. Zeppelin. It ain't in my top 5, but it's one of my favorites. It's an honorable mention. It's a fun one to play.
Yeah.
I think, my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna say, dude, I love Led Zeppelin because they're like the every rock and roll stereotype you could think of comes from them.
Yeah.
Like the rock god singer was 100% Robert Plant.
Yeah.
The long fucking golden locks, the fucking bare chest, belting it out, fucking bulge. The bulge, fucking right there, fucking right in your face, shit.
Crop top bulge. He's got one hand on the microphone, his other hand's on your old lady's head.
Yeah. The movie Spinal Tap, I think, is all those stereotypes are all from like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I can tell you, being a huge Zeppelin fan, had a really negative impact for me trying to learn guitar. Because I couldn't play, but like I always went straight to Zeppelin songs. And, like I'd be able to get like maybe a riff or two, but like I inevitably hit like a point that I can't, like, okay, move on to another song. I can't. That's above me.
Seven
Then
Nation
I end up
Army.
learning like 30 seconds of a song.
There you go, Trey.
7 Nation Army it is.
Like that's my whole song list, like, of songs I can play. Is just like 20-second clips of Zeppelin songs.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
That's what got me where I'm at.
Morgan plays that fucking the Babe I'm Gonna Leave You.
Yeah.
Or what's the other one? The Rain song? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, I did learn that one.
Dude, I've seen Morgan play that shit, and he says he only gets to 80%.
I actually did get most all of that song.
Man, the 80%.
Yeah, no, I did
man,
get most of that song, but that one was really hard. I think I broke like 4 strings trying to learn that song because of the tuning. Like, the tuning was so fucking crazy. Like that.
Morgan,
the low E string.
I brought this up. Look, I brought this up on a past podcast. I can't remember which episode it was, but I'm glad you're here because I wanted to ask you about it, because it specifically pertains to Jimmy Page and some of his tunings.
Yeah.
Didn't you tell me he had some song like he literally made his own tuning?
Yeah.
Yes, the Rain song. It's called Open.
Is it the Rain
Open
song?
Page.
Open Page. Yeah.
Tuning.
Yeah.
And that's what that high E string, like, it doesn't want to go to where you got to tune it to. Like I must have snapped 4 of them, like, trying to learn that song.
Damn it, man.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
Open Page tune. How much?
Hey man, that's what you know.
Open Page.
If you look at Keith Richards, he plays. There's like 4 or 5 songs he plays that are his guitar doesn't have the little E string. It's just 5 strings.
It's a few Telecaster.
And there's a few songs he plays where the guitar doesn't have the low E string.
The low E, yeah.
And then there's a couple of songs he plays where they don't have either E string. It's just 4 strings if you look at his guitar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He probably got a tenor guitar. But I know he plays a specific Telecaster, Keith Richards does, and it's one of those. It literally
capoed up on like
he has one of the strings is missing, and he's like, that's how it stays.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, it's probably pointless to even bring it up, but there was someone I saw recently that said, like, some famous band or guitarist, that their guitar was never like fully in tune. Like, it was always slightly off.
Yeah.
I swear I can't remember who it was, but like, you would never know it until like you find out. And then you go back and listen to the songs, and you can hear it. Like, they're all just slightly out of tune.
Yeah.
If you listen to Bob Seger, the bass player didn't realize he was out of tune on "Come to Papa" till after the shit, but they didn't want to go back and re-record it. So if you ever listen to that boom, 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 I mean, it sounds like it's good. It sounds like it's almost like he's bending the string. It's because it's out of tune. Yeah. And I was like,
Jimbo gave me a new appreciation.
Weird sound. That's how they got it.
Jimbo gave me a new appreciation for Train. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Train.
That shit's actually pretty good, man.
Ain't it? The band Train, like, Drop to Jupiter. That band.
Yeah.
They did a cover album where they did the full Led Zeppelin 2 album.
Yeah,
like
Train does Zeppelin 2. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Shit, I'm gonna check that out.
Dude, it is.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good, man. Like,
yes,
they knocked it out.
Yeah, they really did.
I think Weezer did something like that as well, but they did it with Van. I seen an album called Van Weezer at the Guitar Center the other day.
I got you, Timmy. I heard
Van Weezer.
Damn it, Timmy. He said he jumped on the Zeppelin train.
Oh.
I'm the only one that caught it.
y'all got anything else?
That's it for me, fellas.
No, that was all I wanted. I actually got.
I did have one.
Yeah.
Morgan's like, I gotta
two.
go, man.
Well, hold on. I have one more.
Damn it.
It's like Black Crowes. One more song.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, well, we're gonna have to tell that story one day, Morgan. So in 1973,
Stuff happened.
they broke multiple attendance records throughout the 70s.
Yeah.
In 1973, they broke the Beatles record that they set in 1965 at Shea Stadium. Zeppelin broke it at Tampa Stadium with over 56,800 fans.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And then 4 years later, they broke their own record where they played in 77 at the Silver Dome to 76,229 fans. So that's 20,000 more people.
Hell yeah.
Literally like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. And Madison Square Garden, the famous The Song Remains the Same film. That was 3 sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I used to have that DVD.
Amazing concert.
When I had that Tundra with the DVD player in the front,
Yep.
I would put that DVD in and like I would just let it play. So like I drove around all the time with just Zeppelin live, like just broadcasting right there in the front.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
One last thing that I always respected the hell out of Zeppelin, like, because after Bonham died, they never played together like as Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Right.
The only time they did was for Celebration Day, like
Don't worry
in
about
the 2000s.
Dude, that Celebration Day live concert that they did with fucking Jason Bonham playing the drums, dude.
Yeah, and they had his son playing the drums.
Oh my God.
That's all I was about to say. I watched the thing on that.
But that was the first time they played on stage as Led Zeppelin. Since they quit. Like they would always do like when Foo Fighters did the concert with Robert Plant and John Paul Jones or Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes, like stuff like that, but they never played as Led Zeppelin again.
Yeah, exactly. I respect the
and
hell out of
they
them.
said they just didn't believe anyone could fill his shoes. Like it just wasn't the same.
Now I did read,
and I always respected the hell out of that.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
I did read that they tried to play with Jason Bonham in like the 80s and the 90s, and both times they played, it was like they like something fucked up, like Jimmy's guitar was fucked up, or it kept going out of tune, or Robert Plant had like some kind of like sickness and he couldn't hit the notes right, and it just it didn't come together. You know what I mean?
And they don't know it's just it.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that they couldn't have done it. It was just like the ones they did do, it just didn't come together right until. What was it? Was it Celebration Day, or didn't they do another one? It was like the Mothership or some shit, or was that just the?
Well, the Mothership was like a compilation album.
Yeah.
Okay,
I had 2
so it was Celebration Day.
Yeah.
That's what it was
called.
Was the concert.
Yeah. They gave out the tickets, like it wasn't open to the public, like and like they were booked up like
it was like exclusive
2 years or something before the concert even happened.
Yeah.
And that was good. I enjoyed it just for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't the same, like, because they changed the tones, like they down-tuned or like stepped down for a lot of stuff to try and match Robert Plant's vocals, because he couldn't hit those high notes anymore.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people do.
I believe I brought this up on an earlier podcast episode, where a lot of those really high notes that Robert Plant did, they would speed up the tape. Yeah, so it would make his
sound higher.
Yeah, he would sound higher. at certain.
Well, that's
points.
what Over the Hills, like that's a perfect example. Like every time he tried to do it in concert, like he only could. How the West Was Won is the only time I've ever heard it successfully, recreated live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On that note.
Yeah, I mean, y'all got anything else?
No, that's
it for me, my boy.
I mean, the only thing I got is the only people they had when they wanted. They did at one point want to continue with Led Zeppelin, but Robert Plant was doing
solo.
He was doing solo stuff with Alison Krauss, bluegrass.
Yeah.
If you want something different, I would suggest checking that out. That's actually they do sound good together.
Oh yeah.
But they had
Vultures.
Yeah, they're badass. But it was Miles Kennedy.
Yeah.
They had singing the Robert Plant part, which I think that could have worked. I mean, it never panned out. We'll never know. But Miles Kennedy's a fantastic singer, and he can do all that shit.
Yeah.
What could have been?
I got one for you. Coverdale and Jimmy Page. They did some stuff together as well.
Yeah.
David Coverdale from Whitesnake.
Paul Rogers and Jimmy Page had the Firm.
But that's all I got.
And like me and Morgan said, Jimmy Page and Black Crowes.
Yeah.
Live at the
John
Creek.
Paul Jones did Them Crooked Vultures, didn't he?
Yep, he was the bass player with
I think lastly,
Dave Grohl.
Jimmy Page was always like obsessed with the occult and the strange and weird, and he actually bought the Aleister Crowley mansion.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
That's where he said he kicked his heroin addiction in 3 days.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to that Led Zeppelin 4, that Zoso symbol. I think that they say it had something to do with the occult because he was really into that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I appreciate y'all letting me jump in.
Got anything?
Yeah, man. That's it for me, buddy.
No, man, that's it for me.
Awesome.
Have a good night.
Showing the books.
Morgan, thanks for joining us for the podcast, man.
Hell yeah.
I know you were late, but I think we had a good time.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna try and make it up that way to see you eventually.
Oh shit.
I know I got that survey coming up, hopefully. So
oh
yeah. To crash.
That's right. Hell yeah.
Couch is open, brother.
I said I got a survey in Kitty Hawk. So either you or Seth, which one's putting me up?
That's right.
Leo, stick around, talk with us for a minute. But before that, I think that's a good place to end it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. Remember, like I said, give us a like, comment, subscribe, follow.
Tell us what you like.
Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like.
What you don't like.
Let us know what you think. Any suggestions? Any albums, bands, anything you want us to cover? We're open to it.
Hell yeah.
But as we say, remember,
wherever
you go,
there you are.
And if you want to check out my band, that's Steve and the Torinos.
Yeah.
That's OnlyFans / the Angry Pop Tart.
We're currently in search of a lead singer, lead guitarist, rhythm guitarist, bass player, and a drummer.
Yeah.
And 3 black chicks in the background.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys.
Later.